Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. By the end of the year, how are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, you're all welcome to another special edition. I'm sure that you all enjoy that piece of dancing and music. Growing up, I used to be a lover of the Oriental Brothers International, led by Dansach Okpara. I still remember that offhand because that name was so popular in the East then and amongst the Igbos that it brings a lot of memories back. And those two young girls actually displayed, a mastery of dancing. Those are kind of people you want in your troupe. If you are one of those who used to, if you are into acting, you want people who can actually move the audience, and those two young girls are good dancers. Not like that young boy who is instead of dancing is going to hold bottom. I don't understand. Such people really, they don't help situations. They say if you dance and they go shout. Anyway, you're all welcome, special people, to this edition. Earlier on, we had Dr. Malcolm Fabiyi, who indeed did a wonderful job explaining to us the situation that we find ourselves in Nigeria, the political, economic, and all that. In fact, he was an all-rounder, and I enjoyed listening to him, and I'm sure you did. But this afternoon, we're also going to look at what we discussed or what he's talked about, and try to go in depth, especially for those who didn't have the opportunity to ask questions. This is the time for you to ask your questions or express your opinion, which you didn't have the opportunity to do whilst the earlier program was going on. My name is KJ, and you are welcome to another edition. We always say every Sunday it's becoming your Sunday tonic. And so yes, the breaking news is that Mr. Obi, that was a boy, is now a man, has moved over to NDC together with Musarabiu Kwankwaso, the Kwankwasia. So right now, OK is OK in ADC and NDC. I don't know why they call, why they just, conferencing around the name APC PDP, ADC, now NDC. Come on, guys. And there's another AC somewhere. Nah, waiting. No, they couldn't just form another name apart from this ones so that the voters will not be confused. I don't know if you go, except of course they are going to mount a vigorous publicity campaign, because I don't know how you're going to get the elderly people to know the difference between ADC, APC, PDP, and AC, and then NC and ANC now. I think there's too many of them, but may God help them. All right, so this afternoon I have the pleasure of bringing in Mr. Jefferson, and he's one of those contributors who like to hear. Please, if you are at the, okay, in fact, let me go ahead and share the link, because this is all we're going to discuss, and then maybe touch on a few other public interest information that is going on. But that will be much later. One of the things we're going to discuss later is the capturing of the young man who, because of the comment he made, and the comment he made was not just comment about anything negative, but talking about the feeding that was given to Nigerian army people, and they said the army accused him of having privileged information. So if you live in Nigeria, very soon, the water you drink will be privileged water. The eba you want to eat in the evening, this evening, will be privileged eba. So you can be picked up, locked up, without anybody knowing where you are, because you have exposed privileged food to the privileged public. Now what for us? God will help us. Welcome, Mr. Jefferson. Good to see you here. I can't hear you. Your mic is muted. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, very good. Thanks for welcoming me to the show.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Yes. You were you here earlier on with Dr. Malcolm?
No, I didn't really watch the show, but of course I can maybe throw some highlights regarding the current happenings, on which you mentioned. You definitely mentioned the issue of Obi moving to, it's no longer news, NPC, and of course the other guy, I think his name is it Smart? Sorry, I've forgotten his that name, that the guy that was kidnapped.
Yes.
No, it's Smart, they call him. Okay, I can't remember if it's Smart, but sorry, I think
Yes,
it's Smart. Yeah.
Yeah, Smart.
Smart guy, then I enter Obi. So it's it's actually appalling, that we are trying to build a nation, and when people see things that are of grave concern and make commentaries, they're easily picked. Now let us even analyze it. Majority of Nigerians today who are between the, let's say, lower class to middle upper class, they can actually go to Mr. Biggs, Chicken Republic, and blow 10 to 20,000 naira per day in an event, spend comfortably. It's supposed to be a challenge, a slap on the Nigerian state, that you are giving a military officer even 1/10 of that money that people spend in Mr. Biggs. Of course, when people discover this, the guy made his comment and he was arrested. It's a shame. So that's to say, they don't want anybody to say anything. They just want to run the nation amok.
But the question I will ask you, Jefferson, is this. Now that it has come to the notice of the public that he was arrested because he is standing in the place of the, trying to inform the public, what has the Nigerian public done? Have anybody come to the street? This guy,
because basically, I mean, Nigeria as a nation, we are so moved with sensitization. We can only make commentaries here and there, and that's the least we can do. And it's no longer news that you even see clerics whom you think they are standing on the side of truth, supporting people of questionable character. So anything goes. But if there is a boxing match now between FA and Portable, Nigerians will put a voice. If there's Big Brother Africa, they'll put a voice. But when it comes to things that are very critical like this, nobody is going to put a voice. At the end of the day, we are trying to build a nation, so we cannot afford to just sit down. We cannot just afford to sit down and expect it to work like that, nilly-willy. So I feel the Nigerian populace are kind of, they don't have anything to say. And even if they have anything to say, it will be a fight between religious clerics or between people of different parties or people's ethnicity. So that's what you will see on the social media. I can guarantee that even when this guy was trying to say something, you will see people go on the comment section to start calling that guy name and say, hey, mind, why are you trying to speak ill of the government? Those are the commentaries.
So with that commentary that you've been able to outline, does it show that the people really want a good governance and they want a change and that they're truly suffering?
Some Nigerians do want a change, but the percentage of Nigerians that want a change to those that don't want a change it can't really ascertain right now. You can't really say it's difficult to do a proper metric to say, okay, these are the group of Nigerians that need a change versus those that need a change. You understand? That's number one. And then I'll give you a practical example. Like in Lagos, I was in Nigeria last month. So, and there was a guy, Scott, if you guys follow him on Instagram, he usually made commentary between what is happening in other African countries in terms of development, what to expect, how things are going, and what is happening in Nigeria, especially in Lagos and different parts of the country. He actually made an arrangement to go and visit the Etiosa local government chairman. In fact, he made an announcement on his Instagram handle. He gave a date, he publicized the letter, everything, and said, look, we are coming to discuss with you to know a way forward regarding what has been done and what is the look ahead in terms of a progressive Lagos or something. You know what I mean? Because this happened in Lagos. On the D-Day when he and the other group of people went there, do you know that in the local government office, they had about 100 armed personnel, police, armed security men that were waiting to apprehend these guys and prevent them from even trying to see the local government chairman. In fact, they didn't even see him, they were even seeing somebody else. But they came to discuss with the local government chairman, at least citizenry participation. But that didn't happen anymore because someone who is there felt that he is above the law and he felt threatened that somebody is trying to ask them questions on what they have been doing in the office. So you can imagine that's just one guy. You can imagine other Nigerians who have that kind of drive. But definitely, we're not going to stop there because people are still going to push and push and push to make sure we lend our voices and make sure we have a good that the right thing has to be done. It's even in terms of the electoral process, and of course, don't forget the lives of all the Paul and so many other people who have been lending their voices over time too, irrespective of where they are in the political sphere. It has nothing to do whether they are in NPC, APC, or ADC, but at least people are lending their voices because things need to really go in the next direction. All right. So I would like to speak on the Peter Obi side before I don't want to take, So then in the aspect of Peter Obi, I'm not really surprised, Maybe to some people they were, because when I saw Dixon moving to NPC, I knew something was going to happen. But I didn't put much emphasis on it. I knew that I was not just going to go there for the sake of going there because Dixon is obviously a sensible politician too. He might not be perfect in his own dealings. You can't just go to a party just for the mere sake of going to a party. So it was already planned. I still, I don't know how to put it. The issue of Atiku, I believe, is just trying to, how do I put it now? He's just trying to show that he has that influence, which he does do, but it's not beyond. It's beyond you now. You need to look at the times. Look at who is actually on board, basically, because you cannot continue to force your way and say, oh, it's your turn, and you forget that other people are there, you know. And of course, with the so-called prosecution, it was all because of the candidate. It was all obvious because all this chaos was not there before. I mean, they are following the book, going according to the process. How come now that the judiciary and whatever and INEC, they now become the electoral juggernaut overnight?
Okay.
Just because they want to try to make sure that someone does not appear on the ticket.
Okay.
If they think they are doing something right, why don't they do something different? And make sure they give us an electoral process. I'm not even the INEC I'm speaking to directly. Why don't they give us an electoral process that is what far better than what Jonathan had during the time? Let us know they are serious.
Okay.
It's a big question for everyone.
Thank you so much, Jefferson. I think that question is the horse have left the stables long time ago. So that question right now doesn't matter. But we'll answer that question as we go on. Let's go. Mr. Mike, you're welcome. I also welcome Mr. Jagun. Mike, are you going to talk about the presentation of Dr. Malcolm? Okay, you go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
We'll come back to what Jefferson said. Go ahead. So let's deal with what brought us here first.
All right. Thank you so much, KJ, and thank you for coming back to the platform and giving me the opportunity to speak 1, 2, or 3 things that I really take out of today's this conversation. While I was grateful to see somebody with a different perspective like Dr. Malcolm Fabiyi, it was an excellent and he articulated most of his points to some level that I agree with him. Most of all what he said, I agree with him. And this is the first time I stay on from the beginning to the end, because the way he talks, it seems to be, I don't know, maybe people take 1, 2 things away. We are all human. No matter what we do, we're still going to have our sentiments. But it seems to be a natural individual from his own point of statistic level of knowing numbers, putting the numbers to speak to the fact. Because without data, we're all just speaking kind of language that we don't. So, but it speaks very well of what we need to know. And the fact that it speaks about what exactly is happening in the northern Nigeria, being the fact that is from the northern Nigeria. So that speaks a lot of volume that I've been talking about, that nobody's know where your shoe is pinching you until you wear the same shoe or in the same position. So we cannot just use one paintbrush to brush the whole of northern Nigeria to be this, to be that. Because like I tell a lot of people, where I school in Bill, you have the local people who are Babur and Bura, and they don't speak the same language. I mean, the outside is that's what everybody speaks. But even some of them, as a Yoruba person that grew among them, speak better Hausa language than them that are in northern Nigeria. So he put a wider picture on that, which I really appreciate him doing that. And the fact that, me, KJ, every time I come here I always want us to speak about not the vices of Nigeria, but what can we do as individual in diaspora that we can help that country move? What solution do we have? And he pinpointed that he says very important thing, that we all just can't fold our arms and just say, let the politician take control and determine our future. Rather than we ourselves as individuals, we need to stand up to face the battle together. And this is one thing I always tell a lot of us here today, that for Nigerians to change, it's not coming from the top. It has to come from the grassroots level. I'll be honest with you, because when you go to Nigeria today, when people you want to do this, you gotta pay for this. Is it the government? Everybody is into their own. Everybody's like, I'm looking at society like everybody is agitating and want power. If you give any Nigeria for a single position in life, that's it. He becomes the guy. He becomes the whole total environment, and he would like to control and maximize it to himself or his own immediate family. I don't know if you guys. That's to me that's the big issue, because every time I go back home, it's just like, oh, we want changes, but the changes is not. It looks like everybody is like to themselves, because I don't know if it's the society where we grew up. It's just I've been ingrained or engineer ourselves to that level. Like, if I want everything, I have to provide it for myself. So therefore, I become selfish, because electricity, I have the generator. Water, I provide every. So we became insensitive to other issues, because somebody mentioned it earlier today that you have a house in Nigeria, just there, and you, KJ, you mentioned it. It's just like you're living in a prison. You just put a wall around it. You don't see anything else, because the only thing that you see happening in the world is when you comes out of your compound or the four walls of your house. And it's not like you care about coming out, you see something that is you just ignore it. And that's our leader. Our leader are not from, they don't drop from heaven, they are part of us. So it's the same attitude that we have from our leaders, that they are doing the same thing. So the only thing that I hope for is that we in diaspora, because I tell you guys, for that country to change, to move forward, to find the important level of what Nigerian is, he has to come from diaspora. And diaspora means us as we and our children, in the sense that they have already get the benefit part of what other society means to us. Thank you, KD.
Michael, what do you think that the diaspora can do? Since you say it depends on the diaspora, what do you think is the way we can be able to tilt the table, or to tilt the politics into the positive direction I want?
But we have to stand up saying things that we have to make sure we stand up together as one voice, and we articulate our points to them. Because number one, they refuse to give us power to vote, and we just sat down with agree with that. We should be able to have power to make things happen in Nigeria as diaspora. We're supposed to be standing in front of the Nigerian embassy or Nigerian district, hammering, telling them that we are part of that country and we want because to them, I'll be honest with you, that the majority of Nigerians that think in Nigeria, we don't care. So you are enjoying good life, so you don't care. So, but let's show in our movement, in our unity, in a way we approach you to show them that yes, we care. That even though we don't live there, but we care about the future.
Okay, thank you so much. Jabun, you're welcome. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for my two fellow panelists who have just spoken, and for yourself, KJ, for holding the show. Now, I've said quite a bit, even though I came at the end part of Dr. Damage's show. I didn't listen to everything that was said by Malcolm Fabiyi. An excellent guy, as I've already spoken, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of clarity, or as Michael has already said, in terms of the data, just coming out with his points about what Nigeria could and should be. He is actually arguing the case that this is still better than any other option that we have as Nigerians. And I think that's why I have in my heart. That's why I have in the greatest sense of it, as much as everybody who opposes my view, as I see a more positive view, a more understanding view. Those who disagree with me have a case. They have such a case that oxymoronly, if that's a word at all, I would be arguing from their point of view more than the let Nigeria be one point of view, even though that is my ultimate and my nearest point of view. And that is my nearest and ultimate point of view because of time, because of history, because when I look around the world and I wonder as to why not one black nation on this whole earth seems to have the authority of mind to push whatever nation that they are in forward to a position that we can agree that this is our pride. This is what could happen. This is the real future. And I see when I look like that the fact of the matter is Nigeria as a country stands the greatest chance in the whole world of being that emblem for the black world. And that is my politics, basically. So when I look at any black situation, I see the same ailments that we're suffering. I see at different degrees maybe, but the same ailments. The same pain is going on. If we can't see that we are so in the same position, I think we don't know how to look in the mirror. I think we don't know how to look in the mirror. If you find yourself in America or England, those who are there before you are basically you. So unless you're looking at them in a certain way and not under whether you relate to them or not, but not understanding what they have gone through before you ever step foot there, then I'm afraid you're not paying attention. You're not paying proper attention. A cousin of mine asked me many years ago, back in the 80s, what are all these Jamaicans doing here? And I was flabbergasted with this kind of utterance. But I knew it. I had to shut him down immediately. I won't say what I said, but know that it was taken care of. He even wrote me a letter letting me know how much he taught me, how much I taught him about being a human being in this world, not just a black person. Because sometimes I myself don't come from that label. The label is real and I understand it politically. But sometimes that's not me, Star. I'm just a human being. And as a human being, I have authority. And that's the way I've led my life on a personal level. So when I look at the fact that Nigeria is the only possibility, the fact that we see our politicians and leaders foisting themselves against their nations, and where there are clear examples of where we should make political relations, we are just not doing it. That should tell everybody that we're not an honest country. We're not being led by honest people. We are being led by some other authority from some other place. This is the fact. No matter the icky-picky politics that people want to argue, we have to look at the big picture. I'm talking about time here. We're against time. I'm telling you all, Peter Obi, his chance was 2023. He's not going to get another chance. I can bet anybody. Even though it seems like they're raising the game and they're doing all strange Niger politics there, that I can see through it. By the time ADC came on, and Peter Obi went there, for me, Otiton is finished. Why are you going there to join the people that are against your robbers? You're calling it politics. We play to our interests. Okay, you go there. Spoil your name amongst the devils that are there. I don't trust Kwankwaso, no matter what you want to tell me that he's done, against I don't trust him against Dati Ahmed. Nah, mate. What are you doing? Dati Ahmed gave clarity to what you were trying to say. As far as I'm concerned, Kwankwaso has no politics. No, mate. He's very much the same as everybody else. And what we are.
All right, Jago.
Let me try and land.
I'd like to ask you a question. No, hold on, Jago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, what do you speak to the Kwankwaso Obi arrangement? What's your if you infer, if I may ask you to, what is the game plan at the end of the day? Because this all of a sudden law for Obi and pushing direct towards getting him to be in ahead the presidential candidate and him being deputizing. What can you speak to that? What's your take? What would be your if you are asked to analyze, what will you say?
I'm going to speak as myself, as I'm not a politician. I'm not going to be digging out all their nonsense that they talk about all day long. All I would say to you, KJ, upon that question, is that as far as Nigerians are concerned, who go and vote, who should go and vote, who it's imperative that the intelligences of the middle classes that are still left inside Nigeria lead the nations to vote in the correct way. They have to have that argument. And if you look at the whole idea of Kwankwaso Obi, I'm saying to you that at this point, you are not going to beat Tinubu as badly as he's done, as crooked as we know he is. You're not going to beat him because you have now put yourself in a position where you can be rigged out. It's almost in the rewritten in law that we can still rig you out in such a way that we will do much better than the folly that we played last time. That's the position that you're in. Fundamentally, the question of we have made it more difficult for any politician to rig this game. We haven't done that. We've made it easier. That's the fundamentals. And who has the bollocks to really do such a heinous thing? Who has a game plan to do that in such a way that it may be unbelievable to the whole world, but in Nigeria, we don't care. We don't care that it looks as strange as hell. It's the most obtuse thing that has ever happened in politics in the world. That will take place. Nigeria will continue with crooks running us. That's the fact of the matter. If Nigerians basically don't vote for the complete opposite of what Tinubu is, not the next best thing or the nearest best other thief, we can't do something like that. That's a waste of time. And that's what we generally argue about in terms of politics. We have to the most opposite thing. I don't know if he's already out there or if he isn't, but the most opposite thing of what our political classes are as right now, we're not going to get it right. I don't know if that answers your question, but I won't be doing icky picky with if Obi and Obi and Kwankwaso are together, that's going to be a winning ticket, and that winning ticket is going to lead to our Nevada, where Nigeria would now become the best country. That's not going to happen, my friend.
All right. Thank you so much, Jago. I like your this thing. You see, because and I'm coming to you, Chris, because all of a sudden there's this law for Obi to run with Kwankwaso, to the point that they're even celebrating it. Okay, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. I haven't lived in the north for a while, Mr. Chris. Can you infer into that, please? I want you to really take your time and analyze this thing, make it as plain as possible, so that people can understand what is going on here. Because some people don't understand other politics. So, but go ahead, sir, and then let us.
Okay, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I want to start from what the statistician said.
Yes. Go
that
ahead.
Obi won 6 million. The other person won 7 million. This person won 8 million. From what we know today, evidentially, okay, Obi won River State.
Yes.
From what we know evidentially too, the number they gave him in Lagos is not actually the right number. So when people say he won this, he won that, the better way to say it is they allocated figures. Okay, so they allocated figures. Now, the second thing I want to say about Peter Obi and Kwankwaso is like, well, probably they knew that, or as they there are some quarters they say that Obi won the 2023 election.
Yes, he did.
So it down on them that probably that is the surest way to 2031. You know, so it's not to play second fiddle that is main destiny, but it's just to be able to ensure that 2031, because that's the game most of them are playing. That's the game Rubad is playing with El-Rufai. That's the game Kwankwaso is now playing, to outsmart all of them. So it is not as if to say he suddenly loved Obi or something, he just want to do this thing, but he just looked at it as the surest way to 2031. That's one. The second thing I also want to say is that, having understood that, the northern hegemony has cracked, the northern hegemony has cracked, and the Tinubu is in charge. So it's not going to be like they're going to intimidate Tinubu out of office. So the best way to do it is to try to align themselves with the Southeast and by extension South, what they call South-South. Okay? So that's the only way they want to, so that's the way they think they can, make impact. And thirdly, I keep on saying it, the Fulani is having challenges. They realize that the Hausas and other ethnic nationalities in the north are revolting. So in order to be able to hold on to power, okay, because if they don't, then if they don't hold on to power, probably at some point they will their leadership in that country, in that part of the country, will be questioned and maybe overthrown at some point. So these are the reasons why probably they are now aligning with Peter Obi, and see if through alignment with the Southeast, although naturally they not always align with the Southeast. I mean, the Igbos, so from the time of Azikiwe and Sagana of Sokoto. So they have been aligning. Okay.
Chris.
Yes.
There's this question that comes up, which I think is genuine also. Why should Atiku leave his political ambition because of one Obi? Since everybody is fighting for their own stomach in Nigeria, why should Atiku now say, okay, because of the best interest of Nigeria, let me step back? If it is you, Chris, will you step back?
Well, I wouldn't even be thinking of contesting Nigerian presidency at that age. That's the first thing. Okay?
Okay, that makes sense.
I wouldn't be contesting Nigerian presidency at that age.
At the age of 80.
At the age of 80. For one thing, the only reason why you see this kind of, if you look at the Western world, once you get into office, they tend to grow old quicker. Right? Just because they think every night about the problems in their country. But it's only in Africa or in Nigeria that somebody will get in the office, then he starts having a
Looking.
robust health, you know. So probably because they are not thinking about what is happening in the society. So I don't see how that kind of a man could be, wake up late in the night or stay up around 3 a.m., to start dealing with the security issues. So that is the first thing. Now, but as to why he has the right to contest. But
Okay.
the point is that if you are reasonable as a person, you look at the wind, how it is flowing, then you will know, the best way, although they say that every politics end in shame. So probably he wants his own to end in shame. That's why he wants to
All right. Thank you. Thank you so
continue
much.
in that way. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And we have forefather here. Forefather, you have you followed the discourse and you have your own views about and then, so what area of Malcolm's Fabiyi's Dr. Malcolm's Fabiyi's interview will you want to engage us in? What is your take from all that was said? Yeah, and someone is asking us
Yeah,
also,
thank you
maybe
for.
yeah, we'll later come to you. Someone is asking how old is Trump? Trump is going to be 80.
77.
Okay, 7. By the end
Very
of
accurately.
yes, by the end of his tenure, he will become 80. So, but he will almost be 80 by the end of his listening. So he's not yet 80. All right, go ahead, forefather.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and KJ. Greetings to everybody on the panel, the chat, and to the viewers. I think regarding Peter Obi, I'm not sure why you are surprised that Northerners sooner or later may sign on to support Peter Obi when Kwankwaso especially is on the ticket. Kwankwaso is highly regarded in Kanu, and I think in the broad north, by the poorer masses of the north. He may not have won a lot of seats, that states the last time, because that wasn't the objective. I don't think they ever saw him as a presidential candidate. But when he's running with Peter Obi now, there's a chance that he could win. So he probably will get a lot of votes. But I still think without Atiku, if Atiku is running the election, Atiku will take votes away from them, and it could still result in this thing, Tinubu winning the election. At least it will make it easier for him to rig if he needs to rig it. I don't know for the life of me why Atiku feels like he needs to always challenge every time. I don't know why. He cannot even take one election break. But that said, sooner or later, see, I don't know, KJ, you might be a little bit negative about these things, but one way or the other, there's likely to be a Southeastern president. Even if just by probability, there's going to be one sooner or later. And what happens then? If you have the world is going to come to an end, and the worst thing the worst thing you want to happen is after I get a Southeastern president, he ends up being like everyone else, compromised by Western powers, not allowed to do what he needs to do for his people. So let's hope that is not the case. Peter Obi might end up winning the election. It's possible. You never know. Listen, Atiku is not fully. Everything is not settled yet. Till now, so we don't just know. Politics in Nigeria is a bit fickle. But in the previous conversation, what I really found a little bit unsettling was this connection with men. He connected men to political office of Jonathan, as if Jonathan making it to office wasn't due to fluke of history, the president dying in office, and all that stuff. So you think they want Yar'Adua to die because because of men that he has to end up in office? No, that's not the plan. Maybe him being a vice president was something that they considered because he was from the South, because he's going to get vote from there. But that's how they select presidents all the time. So it's not a big. I don't know why he felt to connect agitation with political office, and he didn't just connect it. He said it works. That is problematic because you are like encouraging people to see it as the path to becoming getting to office. So every region should start agitating. The this in the Taraba area should start agitating, and Southwest should start because they want office. That's not how it works, and I don't think there's any correlation with it. Otherwise, after Buhari ended up in office, there will not be any uprising in the north anymore. And besides, this is something that is in the Sahel already. So I don't know why he felt in that. He's an intelligent individual with I think he even schooled at Cambridge and all. So for the life of me, why he brought that in, it seems like an easy thing to see that they don't correlate. But somehow he correlated it.
Let me come in. So that statement he made, it was actually very correct. So what not meant, let me explain to you. So you repeated this second time. So before the Yaradua election, right? Before then, the calculation was Odili was the choosing one to become the president. That was who Obasanjo initially chose. But close to the election, KJ will be aware of this. Close to the election, before that period, there was a big agitation in the South-South. So there was a South-South assembly comprised of all the political party leaders from all the political parties. Then there was agitation on the side of the militants. So their demand was they must be given president too. This was what happened. Then Obasanjo, when Buhari picked, it was ANPP then, Abi CPC, one of them. So he noticed that Buhari popularity in the north can actually sweep PDP out of the north. So Obasanjo was forced to go to Katsina, pick Yaradua. Yaradua picking was very strategic because, don't forget, belongs to the popular Yaradua family, the Kaduna Mafia. So they have a link. Both Obasanjo, Yaradua, Atiku, all of them, they have a link. So to cool the agitation in the South-South down, that was how he went back to South-South to pick Goodluck Jonathan as the vice president. So he really picked him because he thought he was super quiet, it's not going to give him problems. So that was why he picked Goodluck Jonathan. So that was the politics. He was very on point on that.
But vice presidency is not presidency.
Then he became president, right? So what happened next?
Yeah, but he didn't plan for Yaradua to die. This is the thing. I don't know why we keep connecting things that are not connected. He didn't plan for Yaradua to die. He didn't make him president.
What I trying to explain is this: the bringing in of Jonathan, not necessarily because we're going to be president, but because they wanted a more cooler, calm person to be vice president to Yaradua. Unfortunately, what happened. It wasn't because they were planning that he was going to die in the office. I mean, all Nigerians liked the man, even though he didn't stay long. So,
KJ, sincerely, there is a strong report that Obasanjo, even Yaradua, people in Katsina knew that Yaradua was seriously sick, even as a governor. There is a strong report that Obasanjo knows that this man
is seriously sick too. Did they plan that Shatima
should over? Okay. Do you know the sickness we are talking about? Yaradua was having serious kidney problem.
Okay,
it was very serious.
AY.
Okay.
I'm not sure that what you are saying is that Obasanjo knew he was going to die. No,
I'm not saying that, but I said allegedly,
okay.
KJ.
So I don't think so. That news went around in Nigeria, but we all didn't find any linkage that this was what the situation was. It's just like Buhari. Some people thinking that what's his name, Tinubu was going to die, and when he was doing up and down. No, jump everywhere now.
KJ, if you know, even when Tinubu was much younger in Lagos, Tinubu, that's his behavior. He behaved like somebody that is sick. That Tinubu has been like this long time ago.
Also, they die. Go ahead, forward and finish your thought.
Yeah. Go
because the point he is trying to is a very, very tenuous point, and he didn't just stop there. He also said that when you agitate, then you get this thing. Okay, agitation was going on in the north. Does that mean that's the reason why they won? The only reason why they won was because Tinubu allied with this in Buhari. That's why they won. Buhari lost 3 times. It didn't make any difference. And by that analysis, Peter Obi should be president right now. So I don't understand why, just because parts of the country there's agitation, Tinubu becoming president. Okay, is it because Igboho agitated? I don't get it. Why would you link things? By that standard, I can just link anything together. There's no correlation. There's no direct correlation to say, okay, because the South was agitating under Sarawiwa. They were agitating under Azika Adakaboro. Did they make them president? That is not how it works. I don't
do you know of the South Assembly? Do you know about the South Assembly?
I know that the South there was the time.
Read about it.
But that is not a reason to say that's why Jonathan made it. See, hold on. So are you saying because the South said they have to be president means they give them presidency? This is a democracy. That's not how it works.
Okay,
they don't even zone it to the South.
All right,
they don't even zone it to the South. They never zone it to the South once. I don't understand how you can see it like that.
Try to hide Yar'Adua's sickness. So to make sure that Jonathan wasn't there, if not for the late what's her name? The late NAFDAC woman, I keep on forgetting her name.
Dora.
Even not for that one, that Dora that spoke out.
Okay.
That's how he would have got. That's how he would have even been.
All right, let's not divert. Let's not digress.
Oh my God! For people, you see this
kind
of stuff.
Let's not digress. Let's just deal.
I was hearing my opinion now.
So now let me throw in more spanners in your wheels. He talked about a very something very important, which is a 10 million undecided voters who are in the forefather. Why are you going away now? You are the one who's going to ask, and you are going away.
Yeah, right. I'm not going away. Go ahead.
Now he talked about 10 million undecided voters that can go either way. The question is, if you are Peter Obi and the opposition, what would be your strategy to harness those 10 million voters?
The strategy you use to harness them is to pander to them, to get them to vote for you. I actually think that most of those voters would likely sympathize with the opposition if they are united, because they have enough to sympathize with the current presidency. The presidency has a lot of powerful people behind it right now, a lot of governors, a lot of local government chairmen and all that. So those people also influence people. So, and they influence people, they can buy people. So by the time you know it, even areas where they don't have a right to win, they win enough votes to become relevant in the election. And if the other side of the vote is divided, the presidency wins. So for me, that aspect is not controversial. But this idea that somehow, and I'm surprised AY is buying into the idea that when you agitate, you are rewarded with presidency in Nigeria. I don't understand why that correlates at all. It doesn't correlate. In the case of MK Abiola, is because a Southwesterner won the election and they deprived him of it. And the way people agitated for it, it wasn't because of a Southwesterner, it was a Nigerian thing. And by that standard, Buhari shouldn't even be president. And if he became president, then why is the agitation getting worse? Tinubu is now in office. Why is they not still agitating? So the entire thing doesn't correlate at all. And how do you explain the Sahel? Do they want to become president of Nigeria too? This is crazy thinking. I'm surprised why you are buying into that kind of narrative.
All right,
because the South agitated, had an assembly, so that means that maybe because of the assembly they got into office, but it's not because of MEND.
No, I'm not saying because of MEND.
All right.
But he's saying that because of agitation, that there's violent agitation. That's why they end up in office. That is what I disagree. Violent agitation.
He has explained what he meant. Let's move on. That's not our main point of discussion. I don't want us to drag into whether MEND.
No, but it's a serious issue now, KJ. Don't pretend as if you don't know what is serious about it. Because if somebody is saying that a region has to be violent before they get into a presidency, that is a bad signal to send.
That's not what he said. You are the one.
That is what he said. Okay, what did he say then? What did he say?
Explain what you said again.
You see,
not what you said, what he said. Not what you said.
What he said now.
Can I interject here? It's not the first person that said this. Obasanjo did say it.
You see what I mean?
Obasanjo said. Let me explain what Obasanjo said. Okay. In relation to Southeast, he said that the Southeast don't have something to blackmail them.
Okay.
To blackmail them into giving them their presidency. But other regions, if you look at what happened was Obasanjo wanted to hand over that power to Odele. It was El-Rufai and Rubadu, their intervention that actually stopped that idea. So that was why they ended up with Jonathan as vice president. So in a way, you could say, yes, there was some kind of even though it is not the reality on the ground, even though it might not be ideal as you arguing, which I agree, but the reality on the ground is that, you know, some people use violence in order to get what they want. Especially, okay, look at the North. Each time they want power, they unleash this violence, you know, the insecurity, in order to get the power. So what actually in the South is when you say Peter Obi would have been there, there's a dichotomy, there's a difference of in what IPOB is asking for and what Peter Obi is asking for. So those two things are don't mean. In fact, actually, I would even say, I would even argue, in order to stop IPOB activity. That's why they are now rallying around Obi.
Okay, but how do you explain Buhari being in office, the situation remaining the same? He's in office.
Okay. No. Okay. Let me explain that. For the Fulanis, I keep on saying it. The Fulanis had a vision of conquering Nigeria, and they have been actually doing it. That's why I said, if I had time to interrogate him, I would ask him, if he don't believe there is a Fulanization agenda, why is it that in migration, you as a person will leave your place as an individual, go to the North and live, but in their own case, they load truckload of Dangote and ship them to one place, load another truck and ship them, or 3 trucks or something, and ship them. So the idea is to create a mass that maybe that will be giving them 25% in each, maybe in each state, or maybe in 5 or 10 or 5 or 8 states in the South, where they are now trying to beat down the uprising of the North. If you look at the awareness, the awareness of the or the rising of the Hausa and other ethnic nationality in the North is one of the reasons why they had to beat them down. You know, if you look at the TV, it has been ever since 1963. Or, you know, when the TVs want to rise up, they will beat them down. So that is what is happening in Zamfara.
It's my turn, right?
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, we come to AY. AY, and I see come back with that same question. There is a strategy that Dr. Malcolm introduced or made aware to all of us, which is that there's a group, there's a population that have never voted before. And there's a population that is disgruntled right now. Why? Because of the tax laws that is taking more from their pockets, everyone's pocket. Now, those people have not been voting before. Hence, we only have about 20 million registered voters. Those group, out of that 20 million, about 10 million. The question I asked the forefather is, if you are in Obi's shoes or the opposition's shoes, what would be your strategy going forward, knowing that this figure is lying there dormant?
Yeah, thank you. To be honest, I think they are more than that number. To be honest, it's not even 10 million. It's actually more. So don't forget, every election cycle we have new voters, right? We have a lot of youth actually, and Peter Obi was able to capture the youth already. Trust me, in 2023, I think the big battle in 2027 is gonna be the credibility of the election. If opposition wanted, they need to fight, which I think they've not done enough in that aspect, is to make sure the election is not rigged. This is the first thing, because no matter how credible you are, no matter how people love you, politicians can always manipulate the election. So this is one area they need to really tackle seriously. There is something he mentioned today, although some people disagree. I've actually said that here. If you go back to 2015 election during APC and PDP, APC used a strategy. They were popping out results. Sahara reporters, other media results were popping out before INEC even decide to say. So they know that people were aware of the result. APC strong room, they don't play with it. They popping out results from every angle. I think the opposition needs to be very strategic. Now they are dividing themselves already. I will also say I'm a bit disappointed at Peter Obi. The single reason is that with the caliber of Percy, Peter Obi is with the big support is getting across the country, over 6 million votes. How will you join a party without strong agreement? I was actually for him moving to NDC. I was blown away. Like, are you saying that a whole Peter Obi, you move to a party without strong agreement? And the other thing, I've been saying it on this platform here, that there is no way Peter Obi is going to defeat Atiku in the primary in ADC. ADC is Atiku Democratic Congress. Atiku has installed his men, from the chairman of that party, the former Senate President David Mark. These guys, they're not going to play safe. It's not going to happen. So for me, if I were Peter Obi, before I will move to that party, I need to sit down with Atiku, because if Atiku is just greedy, first of all, it is the turn of the South. Nigeria is too fragile for you to be contesting. You have a Fulani man president 8 years. Even last election, Atiku was not supposed to contest. Let peace reign in the country. Apart from is the turn of the South, which a lot of my Northern friends even agree. They said, no, we are going to vote for the Southern candidate. Why are you contesting? Why must it be you? The other thing is, people will argue age does not matter. Age matters. 80-year-old man does not have business with governance. Go and take care of your grandchildren. Age matters. Do you know what is 80 years?
That caused the problem that brought Peter
No,
Obi
it's not weak.
Atiku
himself was playing games. Atiku is too old to be contested for Nigeria president. I don't even know why. Why do you want to decide the more than 50% of Nigeria population less than 40 years? Why do you want to decide their future? Go and prepare for your grave. Atiku does not have business with election. Forget about it. Even Tinubu that is there now is there already because he was able to grab power. Sincerely, people will say it does not matter. 80 Nigeria, please. If you are 70 years, go and rest. Go and do other things. Let the youth decide. Let them, the younger one, decide what they want to do with their life. This is just if even my grandfather is alive, he's over 80 today. You think he's gonna be decided for even the family? No, you're just gonna be there praying for children. Why do you want to? He's too old. He's just greedy. Because sorry, KJ, the best thing would have been, I don't care who you support in the south, if it's Peter Obi, if it's Amechi, but let power come to the south. That would be the best thing. That because strong opposition would have give a lot of threat to Tinubu. Because now you divided the opposition again. I mean, Atiku and Koko, Obi and Koko, so it's a strong ticket. To be honest, it might not be as it was in 2023 because there is a lot of poverty in the land. People are hungry. I know if you allow election to go free affair, shit might happen. But I think the only thing opposition should focus on is how to make that election free affair, to make sure no rigging is going on. Because the youth are ready to kick out any government that is not performing. Even in the north, when I talk
kick them out, how? How are they ready to do that?
That is the thing, right? See.
There's no such thing, Joe.
Jago, hold on. This thing is a process. That's why the electoral reform, the opposition would have taken very, very seriously. If it is demand protest every day, every week, to make sure the right thing is done. So we still have loophole in the electoral reform. Now, nothing was done.
But you should be careful though. That Obi that came on the channel today, he said he didn't even feel like leaving Nigeria. When he said that, that's exactly the feeling I got. So why is that this time when I went to Nigeria? I told you that I didn't feel like leaving Nigeria when I went to Nigeria. There is something on the ground that people are not picking up on. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's tied to the presidency. I'm saying that many Nigerians are working overseas. They're working for foreigners. They do online work and everything. So maybe we are not capturing those people. All the poll that this guy captured, those people don't feel passionate enough to come out and vote against the government. That's the problem. If they feel passionate enough, they will come and vote against the government, but they may not. That's the problem.
Hold on. I will not allow this banter to go on. I won't. Now, the other thing, let's not divert. I just want to remain on the straight and narrow. Welcome. Is it Lexi? Lexi, right? Lazy. Hello. We can't even see you. Anyway. Okay.
She's there actually.
Oh, is she?
He's a guy.
Oh, it's a guy? Sorry.
Okay, you're not talking.
I think it's muted.
I can't be sure, you know. I don't know your gender. It could be a lady.
Hello, can you hear me? Is it better now?
Yeah.
It's confirmed. It's a lady.
Yes, you're welcome. Sorry, is it your first time here?
Not really. I've been coming here over time, you know.
Okay, you're welcome. We've been discussing.
Tiobala, I think Tiobala, isn't it?
No, this Liaze.
Did he change?
This
name? You've been using this name?
Okay, I don't know. I'm lost here, gentlemen. What's the
apart from that,
I don't know what Fofara is talking about. KJ, I can hear you.
All right, thank you. So
speak properly, so we see you.
Yeah, man. Why? This is not showing any level of integrity. If you're here, come and play games with us. Is somebody after you? If we see you, we have to.
Father is after me.
Okay, because your picture is appearance.
You sound like Tiobala now.
No. I don't know. Maybe it's the background. That's why.
Okay.
No, it's you, your system, and you purposely came on board like this. If you want to show who you are, it's very easy to do.
No, I'm just here to make 1 or 2 contributions, nothing more.
Okay, so let's hear a contribution.
Okay, which direction do you want me to go?
I thought you said I just here to make 1 or 2 contributions. I thought you didn't need a contribution.
Which direction?
We are talking about the recent discussion we had with Dr. Malcolm, but you can also, we discussed Nigeria as a whole, and there's a question I was going to ask AY, but I will pop it to you now. And that question is simple. Let's talk about Obi. Why do people think that Obi shouldn't have moved to another party, knowing that the system have been queued against him, and consequently he has to be like a manager the cat with 9 lives. So why, if that's the case with him, why then do people feel that he shouldn't have left and look for how to meander the system till they get to the point of no return?
Yeah, I think you are right. When it comes to strong candidacy, Peter Obi is a very strong candidate and reliable person for that matter. And moving forward regarding building our nation, I think the person of Peter Obi should be the person to lead the affair. However, power is not given, it's taken. If you are expecting people to just hand over power to you, I don't think that is the right way to go. The reason being that, at least before now, during the 2023 general election, you were in PDP, right? Few hours to the primary, you left PDP. Fine, I supported that move or whatever, but the point here is that I found out that it was a big disaster based on what we are facing today. Like some persons have said here on this platform, if there was no splitted vote and all of that, Tinubu would have won that election. Take it or leave it. The condition remain that Nigerians, they shout and cry on social media majorly. They are not ready to come out to vote. We have almost about 70-something million registered voters with about almost 50-something or so that collected their PVC and all of that. Imagine you have 70% of those numbers to vote. Like, no matter how the manipulation, they at least a winner will emerge. They will not be able to manipulate no matter what. But knowing fully well our society, they don't like voting. They feel that going out to vote, they are going to kill them or something like that is going to happen. After all, it's their pollution, they just do it. So that was the reason some political calculation people need to put into consideration. If Nigeria really want to change that system, they should come out en masse, no matter the whether been 3 horse race, it will still work. But with the dimension we find ourselves today in Nigeria system, people don't come out to vote. They don't. Imagine we have almost 230 million Nigerians. Let's assume half of it, maybe 100 million, are adults eligible for voting. How come we are only having 9 million people electing candidates, or let me just say in total 20-something million people electing a candidate? So it's not fair. Now, going with what happened in 2023, there was a splitted vote. People don't want to agree with that, but that is a fact. Because the larger population was against APC. And those larger population also have divided interests. Some were in support of Atiku, while some was in support of Peter Obi, which is clear. They are all against opposition, but they believe that Atiku has the power to maybe to win the election or whatever. Then, so some of them go with that, and it actually played out based on the allocated numbers and all of that. Is almost closer to Tinubu. Now going to 2027 general election is okay. And I was happy when this opposition unanimously agreed to run together to present a single candidate. But leading to the primary, Obi left again. Definitely, we are going to have another 3-man horse race in the 2027 general election. Before now, Tinubu was not the incumbent president. Even directly or indirectly, Buhari even kind of work against Tinubu. But that aside, being an incumbent president, we are talking about the commander-in-chief with Wike on the other side, judiciary on the other side, police on the other side, army on the other side. So these are another factor we need to put into it. And the money is there too. Like someone said here, the Nigerians are hungry, whether you like it or not. Once you give them 10,000, 30,000, they don't care. They feel that they are all the same. After all, what did Peter Obi do in Anambra State? What did Peter Obi do here? They will come up with those arguments. but they forget the indices that measure national development. We're talking about national development that Peter Obi meant in no ramification when he was the governor of Anambra State. They will not want to hear that. So those are the factors leading to 2027 general election. So for me, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm also against some person telling Atiku, why would Atiku run? Why should Atiku no? No, Atiku is a Nigerian, right? He has every right to contest every election. I was even expecting my principal to actually do some groundwork, like do some move. See, at this stage, you need to do some political calculation, like AY said. Do your permutation, or somebody else do your permutation, know where you are going, know the kind of people you want to, because if you want to go direct or indirect primary, at least you should have your men going there with you. If we claim to be obedient, it's not, I think we can have those leaders, no matter being whatever, be the chairman of the party or whatever. So that should be the calculation. Take it or leave it. 2023 general election on one condition, that the Nigerian people actually ready to really change that system. Tinubu will win the election. Reason being that if the Nigerians are not ready to go out and vote, forget it. There's no 10 million, like someone said, there's even more than 10 million out there. But are people really ready to go out to vote? And if they're not ready to go out to vote, please, what happened in Lagos 2023, it's not going to repeat itself again. Never. If you expect that massive vote that Peter Obi got in Lagos to repeat itself again, it is not good. In my own calculation, I might be wrong. It is not going to happen. Reason being that.
All right, thank you so much. I like your analysis. Yeah, but you see, for those of us who have followed politicians for a while, 24 hours is a lot of time. In fact, I want to shock you, my brother. A friend of mine had left discussion at night, called me and said, "Oh, I've been made I won't call the position. Okay, I've been made a commissioner in one of the states," and and she left that meeting around 2:30 to 3. By the time the announcement was made and that was the end of the meeting, everybody left. But when the announcement was made by the next morning at 8 o'clock, it was another person's name. And that's how politics is. So nothing is set on stone until it comes to pass. That's politics in Nigeria, not any other place in Nigeria.
But you have to have your base, which I'm admire the kind of person of Peter Obi before. When it comes to the South, definitely he might be able to win South.
Okay.
Southeast. But in the Southwest, it's going to be difficult. The North, whether you like it or leave it, Atiku has the base in the North.
No,
does not even have that vote.
I like your analysis. Like I said, I don't want to argue with you, but there's so many things that I will not agree with. For instance, Atiku has a base. If he has a base, then why has he been contesting? This is the 9th time. The base should have given him this thing. The last time he was beaten in his state, he was beaten flat in his state.
Who won not in the last election?
The last election, he wasn't able to deliver. Now, did he win his state?
No, I'm not talking about the North in general. That's the question I'm asking.
I'm talking about his state. I'm not even talking about the whole North. I'm talking about Adamawa State. He has not been able to deliver Adamawa State. So how do I now know that he has a base?
How many did Kwankwaso get in the North last election?
Kwankwaso at least was able to deliver where he was, which is Kano State. He delivered
as a presidential candidate, right?
No, yes, as a presidential candidate,
he only got 1 million. Only for one state.
For governorship, he still gave the governor is still from his party, even though
that's their base. They have their base as NNPP for Kano. You can't take it away from them.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying. Thank you so much.
Okay. So we should not live in the euphoria, just believing it's not. I don't know, but it's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your analysis. I'll go to Jefferson, who has been waiting. After that, I come to Jagun. These are great men who have been also.
That's right.
So let us hear from you, Jefferson.
All right. So thank you, everyone. So I just want to say this, Lizzie. All you need to understand about the Nigerians, that you see, Nigerians are not stupid. They might look like Nigerians are stupid, but they are not. What do I mean? As of last month, I was in Nigeria. I literally made I have an old PVC and I wanted to renew, and I did my polling unit somewhere in Lagos. I wanted to collect the new one. Guess what he told me? He told me that the new one will come out around September, maybe September, October. And I'm like, why should it take so long if someone is renewing? And I did all these things. In fact, I made the request to do all these things last year. So imagine 6 months plus just last month, and you're telling me to wait maybe another 5 months, literally 1 year to get a voter's card. And I'm going to ask myself, where are we going with all of this? It just tells me that the electoral process is a very catchy one. You see, the INEC, they are not doing what they are supposed to do. They are not doing their job. And let us be honest with it. If me and you can enter a bank and get a common ATM, or maybe we'll go and do NIN, we can get NIN or BVN or similar of all these things. And it will not take so long for us to get that stuff. I know that the NIN situation, it has been another hassle, but at least in a way, you can print your NIN if you can do that. So what's wrong with Nigerians getting their voters card at the required time? That's a big question. That's number one. Number two, the issue of voters coming out to vote, it's no longer news. Some are scared, some are trying their best, because most people feel that their life will not be guaranteed they are coming out to vote. It's a thing of concern. And unfortunately, our so-called security apparatus and so the security apparatus, they feel justified in manipulating the process. And they think it's okay. The Nigerians are speaking. Like I said earlier before, most Nigerians are raising their voices. We are trying our own individual best to speak. Other people are on the front, trying to make sure that the electoral process is done properly. But guess what? INEC, who they are, based on how INEC is, they just want to make sure that they play the fiddle, you know. But Nigerians are going to still keep on pressing on. And, you know, when you look at the issue of the Obi situation, are you going to blame him? He's doing what he has to do. He's just one person. People say, oh, he doesn't have what it takes. Why did he change from one party to the other? Like, are you guys kidding me? Didn't you see the crisis that happened in LP? Then from LP moved to APC. They tried to mess up the whole process again. And of course, even bringing all the big wigs into the party, they couldn't agree. And of course, they tried to muscle him out. He saw this and said, okay, let him move out to another party. So, I mean, it's his choice, except INEC want to play a quick one. If you check, I posted a link here. You should go press that link. I posted on this on our panel listing. Go and check the link. Or if possible, KJ, if you want, you can share the link so that everybody can see. I would love you to put it up there. Where did I get that link from? That is an American, that was a former senator who have been watching the affairs of what is going on in the country because of one, I don't want to call anybody name, because of one silly guy we know as Reno Mokri and his antics. He did so much that he made that man to now put his beam light on the Nigerian affairs. And when they now also notice that the electoral law, when they now notice that the electoral law has given provision for forgery, the guy said, oh, wow, if that's the case, that means I can literally forge my, citizenship or birth certificate, and also participate in the election. And guess what? We are putting ourselves on the limelight, on the limelight as a country that can forge documents, which is going to get back to us in the future. We are not seeing the danger of this. Imagine most Nigerians graduating in Nigerian universities, suffering, doing all manner of things. But when you now finish and get that paper, they will tell you that how are you sure that you graduated? You may have forged that document. It's not now going to cause problem for other people. You understand? So that is where we are going, because some stupid people in the National Assembly decided that they can put a clause that you can forge a document and get away with it, and nobody's going to question you. These are the aftermath of how far we are going in our own electoral process. You know, I mean, Atiku has had his chance. As far as I'm concerned, he's not supposed to be there if he's reading the room. Nobody knows tomorrow. For the fact that we have this. You see, I think people forget that we have forgotten one thing, that kingdoms have come and gone. Kingdoms have come on this world that are far more than even our whole generation are gone. Why am I saying this? People feel that there's some emperor, that nothing can happen, nothing can change. How dare you? Are you sure of the next second? That's how most of these people behave. They feel that, oh, because they have the apparatus, they can do whatever they want. They can do, and that is dangerous, especially in this election.
Okay.
Let them watch very well. Least what will happen. They will not know where it came from. That is my own opinion.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And before I come to Jagun, it is believed, or there was a news from the grapevine that said that Tinubu was going to sign a law sign into law a bill that would have prevented Obi from moving from anybody, not Obi, any politician from moving from one party to the other on Monday morning, as early as Monday morning. And so that's the reason why they had to move with the speed they moved. I do not begrudge Peter Obi from what he's doing, because if a whole system is, a person that the system is queued against have to find how to keep himself afloat. He has turned to Amalinze, the cat that has 9 lives. So the system is pursuing him and he's making them suffer for it. And that is what I like. However, should it be so? No, that's why when we come here, sometimes I say, you see, because we are tired, we know what can be done to make the country better, but those who are in place to make it better are not doing it. Okay? So the question now is, what other option is left for him? There's no other option, because you see, he doesn't have a gun, he doesn't have a knife, he doesn't have the armed forces behind him, he doesn't have the police, he doesn't have the judiciary. What he just have is God guardians to be able to maneuver the system. But I'll come to Jagu, having said that, with this. You heard what Legs said about all this, and the situation facing every, let me not reduce it to Peter Obi, but every opposition party right now in Nigeria is in danger. Danger in the sense that they may not even be on the ballot. And I want to also put this, just before I tell this program, I was reading an outcome of a news conference. There's already some people who have moved into this new party where Obi has gone and have declared that they are also part of the party, and they are now doing double. They are showing that they have registration beyond what is having now. They're already there. This news is going to come out tomorrow. So with this kind of thing going on, how does a good man emerge from this setup? That's what I'm asking you, Jagu.
Thank you again. You see, not just the Lexi that came, hid herself and spoke. She had points to say. None of it in terms of the kind of discussion that I really want to have. It's apparent to me, it's all basic. 1 + 1 = 2, common sense. I don't know why we like to argue Nigerian politics when we all know it's bullshit. All of it is rubbish. For everything that Jefferson just said, I would have to ask Jefferson, is there given what you have just said, and I want all of us to answer this in our mind. It's not a question that I need an answer for. It's just a repository, which is, given everything you said and people who speak the kind of politics you speak with no opening, no valve, no reality in terms of not you personally, but the way people speak. forefathers would speak as though a solution is emerging from him, but he'll be speaking such on the militaristic point of view as though he's actually there and can make that decision. He can't. It's just speak. At the end of the day, as powerful as he may be, it is. It's just talk. So I'd ask everybody, given everything that we always come here and say, is there any point in Nigeria, going to the polls next year? That's the question I want everyone to answer. Is there any point? Is there a point?
There's a point. There's a point.
Who said that?
Hi.
Okay, fair enough. I won't. You've answered, and you can answer in full when it's your turn again. But for me, I've just seen this, what we're all going through right now. I've seen it for the past, let's say, 45 years that I've been looking at Nigeria's growth and Nigeria's politics. And it's all the same bullshit, year in, year out, 4 years, military rule, whatever it is that we've been through in this country politically. It's all the same bullshit. And that same bullshit is that whilst military has taken over for a long time within our history, that was a period yet still designed by the Westerners, based on this would end soon and we are going to change how it works. However, by the time it comes back to the politicians, it seems like it's worse than military. And we've had it since 1999, year in, year out, at the end of the day. The job that Obasanjo could have really done in his years, he didn't do it. He passed it on to whoever's next with queries of, I need another 4 years. And then he went again to the next. Then the person died, went to the next. The one man did one term, roughshod it away from power. I mean, I don't see any point in terms of whoever is in position to come into power in the new term or whatever. Is that person going to achieve, in your belief, what it is that you want for Nigeria? Would he be able to do that in 4 years? Would he be able to do that in 8 years? Answer the question to yourself. Because it seems to me that we're not up to date. Or those of us who are in the diaspora and seeing where we are in the West and understanding that, boy, this politics that they're playing in the West, I don't know if it's open up to you, that it's still the same corruption that's going on, because the leaders that you are seeing running this thing are not the people running this thing. And I don't know when we're going to catch up, that we are so far behind that it still is an advantage to us. It's an advantage to us, especially in the diaspora, because we can really speak to our constituents as being Nigerians in the diaspora. Because I'm afraid that a country like Nigeria is not showing any Afrocentric interests within their politics, apart from to be very basic bottom feeders and people without imagination, people without understanding. That's what it looks like to me. When I look at any African politician, there are very few of them that stand as though they really have an understanding of what's going on beyond their realm. It seems like all of them are completely idiotic to what's actually going on in the greater planet. And what's going on in the greater planet is what's really pushing them, is what's leading them to do all the rubbish that they do all day long. There are only those of us individuals who are making any sense of what it is to be an African, what it is to stand up as a black man in this world, and what it is to conduct yourself with individual and personal dignity. We're not even looking for these traits within our politicians. What we do know, however, is that all of them are just wicked. And whilst they can't play the game on the big stage of the world, they can play the game with us in Nigeria, lonely us, who can't find kobo to rub together. Those are the people that they can really contain with. They can't contain with the likes of G20. They can't contain with them. These are the people that you are putting in place and telling me that it's going to be a great thing if this new person can. Just shut up. You know, if you want to believe bullshit, it's up to you. But me personally, I get annoyed with the way we speak because, as I said, we're in the West. And being in the West, if you ever understood the world that you are in, that is different from the bullshit that they're playing in Nigeria, then I'm afraid you're a bastard. You're a bastard. You're somebody who is not.
Jagon, how would you have us speak? Is there something
No,
you would
no,
like?
no, no, my brother, please, please. And I know you're
I'm
asking me.
actually asking a question. I
I know
want
you're
to.
asking me a valid question. All I'm saying is that somehow we come here and perform, very performative, but we're not speaking any realities to anybody. We're not. We have to look at the situation that Nigeria is in as an actual fact, given the fact that now we are outside of Nigeria and can see it more clearly than we've ever seen it before in our lives. These are
Sorry,
where
Chris, have you visited the Nigerian embassy to speak about electoral reforms before?
in order to do what, sir? I mean, what?
Embassy,
About the
seriously.
electoral reforms. Have you gone to the Nigerian embassy in the UK to speak about electoral reforms? I mean, that's the first
Can
thing
I
to
ask you why should I do that?
say. How
I'm
many
not
years?
sure where that question comes from. Why should I do that? When I go to get my ordinary passport,
You can't. You
I said,
can't.
wait.
You know you
When I go to the
have.
embassy just to get my passport, it's rigmarole. You want to go and talk to them about real things? Do you think anybody there understands? Listen, I've been in Nigerian
To
institutions.
understand.
Wait,
Actually, it's
I'll answer you, sir. I've been in Nigerian institutions like NNPC in this country. I knew when they were in Victoria. I knew when they were in Barron's Court. And bro, I had dealings with them. And I thought NNPC, Nigerian National
But I think what
Petroleum
Jonathan
Corporation.
Jefferson asks is a valid question, though, because it's one thing to go and protest in front of Nigerian embassy, but to go in there and suggest something as a record to say you've done something, maybe it's not such a bad idea.
Well, okay, you go.
Yeah.
If you therefore have any suggestions for it, and you feel that's a good idea, go and do it. I'll listen to your feedback.
No, I'm not
I'm
saying
giving
it's
you
gonna,
this.
I'm not
This is
optimistic
the
that it's
thing.
going to change anything,
Wait,
but it's a start.
bruh. This is the feedback I'm giving you from Nigerian institutions that are supposed to hold some kind of positioning of respect for Nigeria.
Mm.
I, for one, have been in the embassy many times, and I cannot respect them. None of them. The institution is
Same for
shit.
me. Same for me.
Therefore, NNPC that I have gone in to conduct real business. When there was one of my uncles was the head of NNPC. I won't say his name, but I'll just say the K Factor. For those of you that know who that is, that's my uncle. When I went there, my uncle himself, he did spin his own level now. He was highly respected, but I expected him to really understand what I brought to the table. Now, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But what he didn't see is what I was showing him as a connection, a real connection with Nigeria and the black diaspora in this country. And I had everything set out for what it would mean continually. Put that down. I went there again when they had moved. When they moved, my brother, it was about a 10-story building in Barron's Court, plush outside. When you enter, now Nigeria, you don't enter. The place was with smoked glass on every floor. And as I got to the top, now the managing director I went to see, and they see how each floor was in operation. And the operation, it was just murky. That's how I would put it. Murky. You don't say crime, they go on there. Are you with me? You don't say crime is going on in this. Somebody who just came to visit with a deal, yes. But I've now entered into your parlor and I see how the people they conduct yourself. Homo. So, given this, that's not my line at all. My line is to conscientize. Education is the most important thing that we have to share, especially for the diaspora out in the West, in order to communicate real politics, Nigeria, as to where they stand now on a global level. They stand at a point, Nigerians, as where we stand to be the most powerful people in the world. And I'm not,
I understand what they are trying to say, and I know it's your
let
time.
me
But
land my side. Let me land what I want to. Let me
sorry,
land. Yeah, okay, please.
let me just say this. I know these things you are saying is actually part of the discussion in terms of how we can get together and have
Very good, because I'm not coming with
At the end of
reiterating. I'm not coming here to reiterate what
hold
all
on.
the politicians have been doing. That we
At the end of
wait,
the day, something has
Ejo.
to be
If
done
you
different.
agree, just let me.
I know I'll allow you, but something has to be done different. Do you agree that something has to be done differently?
But I'm gonna make her think I will land where I believe.
In
Because I'm
Nigeria,
already said
are
it.
trying
The
to do
most
things
different
differently.
thing, has ever been said on this platform. I don't care what. If you go back and think, the most different thing that's ever been said on this platform by anybody. I'm not tooting my horn. I'm saying I'm putting to our platform that Nigeria doesn't need 2027 to go and vote. Nigeria needs 3 good years to reconscientize itself
Bye
and to
bye to
educate.
ADC.
And in order to educate those of our people who need to be educated, and that possibly includes everybody on this panel, myself, we all need further education, further
Like,
understanding, which is
just
why
like
no
actually, just
one
like
can do
AY
this by
said,
themselves.
AY is not here. Just like what AY said, we are just left now. The
AJ,
major
please,
cause that will affect the
I just want to
election
give
is
an
the.
information. I want to leave. I'm walking. I've been waiting for.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Let's hear from
Sorry about that.
Ike, please hold on.
My
I'm
brother
sorry,
Jim.
Ike, I didn't know you were there. But let me come back when he's finished, please.
Just 2 minutes. Listen, yesterday when I came to talk about what happened between yesterday and today. I said between 48 and 72 hours, there is going to be a shift in the political landscape of Nigeria. I want to state one thing very clearly here.
I'm not campaigning for Obi.
Anybody that is telling you Obi did not want direct primary election in ADC doesn't know what he or she is talking about. Obi stand on his ground that what we are going to do is the direct primary. But Atiku and his group are looking for consensus. And he said it cannot go any consensus. You have to be a direct primary for everybody, every member of ADC to participate. Vote if anybody who wins, we support the person. But he doesn't want. Another information, I'm not going to say it completely. The gathering of the oppositions in Ibadan last week or last 2 weeks, the final statement that was read, there was something that was taken out of that final statement. But I'm not going to say it here until when the people of Atiku and the ADC begin to start talking from tomorrow. There was something that was agreed on the final note the day the chairman were reading what they agreed as opposition. There was 2 lines that was removed from that particular thing they were reading. And that is what breaks the camel's back. So, but it has been brewing for a very long time. But I just want to correct an impression. Anybody that is telling you that Mr. Peter Obi is afraid of direct primary, Mr. Peter Obi said he is going for direct primary. If it is consensus, I'm not going to be part of it. And that's what Atiku want, because the same dollarization is what they want. So I just want to put that very clearly to anybody who is telling you those are the talking point of APC people who have been campaigning for Atiku to be the candidate of ADC. We have moved. Let Atiku take ADC, right? Let him take over ADC as he have wanted. We have left him with ADC. Let him continue. But from tomorrow, things will begin to unfold because we are going to be hearing so many things. But I just want to put these 2 things very clear here. Anywhere you are hearing anybody who is telling you that Mr. Peter Obi is against running primary with Atiku is a liar. He told them on a very point blank, it is direct primaries. Let all the members of ADC participate and vote. Whosoever wins, we support. Finally, his team was told point blank, Mr. Atiku, you can never win any 17 state in the South. So it's better for you to go home. You cannot win any state in the South. The 17 states in the southern Nigeria, you cannot win one. So how do you win the presidency? I leave it, I'm closing. KJ, God bless you.
This is not dominant. Recently, Obi moved there. This is not dominant. Recently, Obi moved there. And I've said it, Obi is the only life in ADC.
There are other people there. Atiku is there.
Excuse me.
Amechi is there.
I never said they are not human beings there. I'm saying they are largely spent forces. Obi is, let Obi don't go to ADC. Let Obi go to another party. Let's say Obi is in Accord. Accord will become.
Is there?
Excuse me, I'm saying it to be. Obi is the only traction. Obi is the only meaning. Obi is the only factor. Obi is the only person in ADC that matters. And if Obi had not gone to ADC and has gone, when Obi went to Labour that was never known became one election to House of Rep. I'm not saying Obi will win this election. I'm not saying Obi will not win this election. But I'm telling you, even if they don't feed Obi, if ADC fails to feed Obi, their case will be worse than they are coming together.
ADC. OK Ticket is moving to a new party. That means no more ADC. We tried to beg the former vice president, Atiku and David Mark led ESCO to zone presidential to South. That's the best way to go because it's Southern time. It's not, you cannot put Atiku when he's supposed to be Satana. Atiku is not a Satana. So if you cannot zone it, there is no point we are in that party. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce the rise and the death of ADC party. Now we are carrying our glory, our power to a new party. OK Ticket is okay for me. I don't know for you. Obi Pankpaso is okay for me. I don't know for you. They already look like the rescue team. They already look like the rescue face. So, bye-bye ADC. Now ADC, we know that it's not about their party. It's about the ego we don't enter their party. And now that the ego is out, that means that's the rise and the fall of ADC. So now we have a new party that will be unveiled tomorrow by the leaders. You know, Obi Papaso is not going back. It's okay for me. And now that PDP is dead and ADC too on their way to mortuary. So it's the new party. So open your eyes tomorrow, make you follow us so we can rescue Nigeria back. Abi? And PDP, you where you go buy or where they buy PDP tickets, you are wasting your money because PDP cannot have candidates. The judgment is clear that Sheyi's ESCO in Ibadan and Wike's ESCO, Anyan, all of them sat. So you that you are going to PDP to go and buy tickets from Wike led whatever, Wike leadership, you are deceiving yourself. Because Supreme Court is very clear, is subject to litigation. So all of you going there to buy tickets, either for House of Rep, House of Assembly, or presidential, or Senate, whatever, you are going to lose your money because it's a legal party. They haven't done any Congress. So you better follow us to the new party. Bye bye ADC. Bye-bye PDP.
Okay, sometimes we have these videos, but we don't play them, not because we don't know, So when pundits come and some of them, just say certain things, you wonder if we are in Obi's shoes, what do you do? Since you know that you are the animal they are setting the trap for, do you stay there and watch yourself be caught in it, or do you now find how to maneuver your way through? These are some of the questions we don't answer sometimes when we talk about Obi. And for the very first time, a candidate that is supposed to be helping to repair Nigeria have become the enemy of the state. Nobody is speaking to that. Nobody is speaking to the fact that when David Mark himself was in the army, he was one of those who stopped Alex Ekweme from becoming president after the reign of Shagari. There is a general who gave an interview and said it was him and who else? One other guy, can't remember that guy's name now, who said to the military brats or said to Shagari, you cannot hand over to Alex Ekweme, and consequently Shagari was not yielding, and they decided to overthrow him. So and again, David Mark have not really been a serious candidate, as far as I'm concerned, because if he wanted to show his seriousness, we would have seen it in the Abuja, local government run. But all of them they all live in Abuja. They were sitting there when the small boy like Dr. Mo was muzzled out of election he could have easily won. They all sat in their houses. They all refused to come out. I don't think if David Mark, being a retired general and a former Speaker of the House of Assembly, House of Senate, is going about trying to monitor election, Wike will stop him. Or if Atiku is going about trying to monitor election, Wike will stop him. So that's where I saw that this masquerade does not have any dance at all, because the Igbos have a proverb that the masquerade that will dance very well, you know it from his first step. So the very first step that ADC showed didn't show of a people who were serious of being able to tackle down what we're talking about. And that's, they keep quoting that thing they keep quoting, that power is not given on a la carte. How come in the other clients, other nations where the democracy is practiced, power is given on a la carte? Nobody goes to fight. Nobody goes to war. Nobody goes to say, if the opposition cannot have opportunity to be in the ballot, okay? And so this one has become totally very glaring to anybody. Even the blind can see what is going on in Nigeria, that is just trying to set up to make sure that this individual don't come up in the ballot. Except we are not telling ourselves the truth. We all need to rise up. This is, in fact, a serious nation. By now, the citizens of that nation would have decided that, okay, come rain, come sun, we all go out there to vote and wait for our vote to be counted and make sure that everything is done. Because if we fail to do it, we are all going to be slaves in that country. Jefferson, what do you say? Having watched the two videos that we saw now.
In fact, it's self-explanatory now. I, for one, know that Peter Fabiyi himself, both his brother and even the former governor, knows the capability of Peter Obi. He already knows it. He knows who he is in terms of the force and everything. And and if you notice, this was his latest video, right? He equally made a video about it before. Even though the electoral result did not reflect what he had been saying it, because there's something he saw in him, which is his own perspective. Of course, people will definitely agree and disagree. The move was still, like I said earlier, the move didn't come as a surprise. So, because when Dixon went there, he went to prepare the ground. It was all, and if you notice, this election is kind of becoming very, very strategic. What do I mean? They already know the people they are dealing with. So, in other words, they are trying to play the game the same way they are playing it. Not, of course, not in a way that they cannot come out of it. And they all have the arsenals that are on ground, on the feet running. Don't forget the last election when Obi was running too, there wasn't as much strategy then as compared to now, in terms of having what they call it, the people returning officers for the party and all that. It's still a work. I'll put it like this: everything is still like a work in progress at the current stage. So it doesn't surprise me. And the number of members joining NDC is still going to increase. Imagine today, as of today now, it's roughly 10 million. That number is definitely going to double tomorrow. It is going to double, whether everybody likes it or not. It's definitely going to double. And I definitely want to see the magic that INEC wants to do to try to play a fast one. Except maybe they don't want to give people their voters card. So I want to see what they want to do now differently, or what excuse I will come up with. I for one, will also wish that INEC will do the needful to make sure that we have our voters card. Let us have those things that will, and if there's a way that the people of diaspora can vote, it will also help the process. I mean, do something for a change. At least it will even go on record that people even respect Tinubu if he does behave like a statesman. Same way Jonathan behaved like a statesman. They can do that for a change. It's not a do or die affair, basically. Because I mean, nobody's going to crucify him if he doesn't come in another time. People just say, oh, at least he was in office and all that. So that's only two comments on the matter.
Thank you so much. I would like to welcome Mr. John Abba.
I'm not campaigning for Obi, but he's the best. Reason is he has said that he's going to cut down what collects the money of government. And that cost of governance. Cost of governance. That is where they kill us in this country. And new trajectory and new direction. We'll talk about other things.
You are obviously you are a candidate. Obi is your candidate.
No. Obi is, by my critical, unbiased assessment. Right. I am not making this statement because I am a part of Obi. I'm making this statement because he, and more by comparison, is the only one who has shown that if given opportunity, he can take his country.
But there are a lot of arguments, Peter, that Obi has less experience compared to Bola Tinubu and the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar.
Is that the kind of experience you want?
I said this.
The experience that has made slavery out of Lagos, the experience that has made a man to produce governors for 20 years and is in control of the system of Lagos, the finances of Lagos. There is nothing that happens in Lagos without Tinubu's approval. Is that the kind of experience you are looking for? That is a malevolent experience. That is a diabolical experience. That is a retrogressive experience. That is a cancerous experience. That is a corrosive experience. That is a backward experience. That is a reducing experience. That is a poverty-oriented experience. That is a Stockholm syndrome experience. It is an experience that must be smashed to the split stream and dumped in the compost stone. Our country needs egalitarian, progressive, brilliant, intelligent people with capacity, idealistic, to take us from the nadir of insignificance to the pinnacle of global recognition. That's what we're looking for. We don't need the experience of plutocrats and plutocrats who have put us in a quagmire and subjected us to this level of misery and slavery.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Janaba. You're welcome. I guess you heard it. We don't need the experience that will put us to misery and slavery. Yes, what you said, Janaba, because you must have been following us all this while.
Thank you, KJ. Nice to be with you this evening here, and fellow panelists. Of course, he's passionate in his expression, but my say is that I am not a Tinubu supporter in any way, but I am not Peter Obi supporter as well. I'll make my case. I stand by it. I don't think Peter Obi have anything to offer differently. It's a shame listen to people, whether on this platform or elsewhere, to believe that Peter Obi is a decent human being. It's not. When government cut down uh, government expenses and all those things that you guys describe, that is the antecedent as a governor of Anambra State. I don't see none of those things, but you guys are entitled to. I've never seen 21st century within the shortest time a man demonstrated lack of patience, lack of understanding, uh, and build up his grassroots. There's nothing wrong in Peter B stay in Labour Party. And for whatever the crisis there, if you cannot fix it as the party leader, you cannot fix Nigeria. If you don't have what it takes to fix it. And then changing from party to party, people come here, so what is Atiku doing? Well, I'm not an Atiku supporter as well. Well, you don't tell a person what to do with their life. They have the right to run until they drop dead. That is what they choose to respect it. You may not have to like it. And if you have what it takes to knock him down,
John Abba, can I ask you a quick question, sir?
No,
let
leave
me
him to speak
let me
now.
finish
Wait
my
now. So
let me
I'm
finish.
asking him first.
You
No,
will ask me. Let
please
me
let
finish.
him speak. You
I'll
ask him. Let
finish.
him speak now. Let him speak, please.
He will not get us. He will not build up his own momentum. The obedient will go with him wherever he goes. So if he stay and build a momentum instead of creating political enemy within the party, he was in ADC a few weeks ago. Now he's in ADC. All that do not talk well with him because we are being controlled again. And someone to come to, so he's a decent man. He ran his election as a governor of Anambra. So what makes him different from any other person? I don't understand why Nigerians say that. But then people will ask you, oh, you think Tinubu should spend 4 more years in office? What the life of Nigerian will be? I don't know. Nigerians should fight for themselves and fight to understand that no 4 years or 8 years of any politician is going to take us anywhere until we burn an ideology that our country is run on that. And they're going to say, okay, till we get there, who will lead us? You may have many questions to ask. Then why are we waiting? Why can't you face the problem once and for all? And they say, who will fix it? Who will lead us? It's the people that they choose to be career politicians who have nothing to offer than to deceive Nigerians and speak in the tongue that they want for their personal interest. And by the way, coming down, because I hear this, coming down, narrow it down to the guest we have today. It's a brilliant young man. You want to ask me something?
Yes. Jago has a question for you.
Oh, go ahead. Let him go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I enjoyed what you had to say. But I with what you had to say, I was wondering if Peter Obi stayed in Labour for you and was able to reorganize or organize or get the Labour Party into a position for governance, which I agree with you. If you can't do that there, what are you going to do with Nigeria? I agree with that fundamentally. I ask you now, because of your bias, if he was able to do that, would that have given you a different aspect on Peter Obi? Would that have made you even turn to feeling that this is the kind of person that I would vote for, given Nigeria's complexity in the arena? Thank you.
My answer is yes.
There you go, my brother. I just wanted you to answer that question because that is the power of the politics that we should be looking at. If we are real people, because otherwise we become sycophantic, and being sycophantic would lead you into slavery, as has been said. And this is why I don't seem to understand why the politics that we do look at in Nigeria, it doesn't really tell us anything because we just keep arguing the same point that we argued 2 years ago, which has all those opinions that you may have had 2 years ago have obviously become defunct one way or the other. And we are not honest enough here in the diaspora, knowing where we are and knowing, I believe that most Nigerians in the diaspora, I won't say most actually, that's wrong. I believe that the people on this panel, I would like to think that largely the countries that we sit in and how we have watched their system work, we can see the cracks in the wall, rather large cracks, if we are looking really as human beings away from whatever nation we come from. If we are looking as human beings, the politics that is being played in the West, is this not hardcore, disgusting corruption? Now, if we understand that, we have to understand that we haven't got a lot of time. And we as a continent need to play at the top table. We cannot afford to stay in a position as Nigeria as picking the crumbs that fall from the big man's table and start scrambling around, killing ourselves for the scraps. Is that what we're going to continue doing? I leave it there. Thank you, John Abba.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And to speak to the guest we have today, Doctor is a very brilliant young man. He walk on the fine line. Walking on the fine line by some people is because they will choose to. I watch you, KJ, asking question, your question that you always believe in as a journalist. I would not question your journalist and your passion to bring risking your life over the years because uh, uh, it's very challenging to be a good journalist, but you understand clearly. But when they, I don't know, but I believe that you understand the dynamic, the political uh, dynamic in Nigeria, or even fact to me, the other lawyer that will be when I'm bail out. Uh, how do you call him? The lawyer that is that fat
Uh,
whatever he's
the lawyer from Lagos, yes.
okay.
Yes, I think we all know him. I've forgotten his name now.
Okay, but I think it's Fat Romy or whatever his name.
Falana.
No, not Falana.
The younger guy.
The younger
Dele
one. The one,
Faratomi.
Yeah,
Dele Faratomi.
Dele.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dele Barosimi.
Yeah, Dele, you can watch him. He changed his mind towards Peter Obi because this is a man he spent millions and go after, use his influence and all of that. Because the guy says, why all this being controlled by special interest? There was a guy. So if Obi have demonstrated, even if he targeted 2031 and to get himself together and to say, no, let's fix a Labour Party instead of the way of desperation here and there. People say Kwankwaso is a good man. We are not looking for good man to lead the country. We are looking for people who will fix Nigeria, whichever way it takes to see that the Nigerians are suffering home and abroad. Good man doesn't fix anything. Nobody needs your goodness. If goodness take you to heaven, go and meet to God. What we need is a leader that want to take us out of this problem and struggling. It's not a 4 years. Nigerians are scattered abroad with brain, helping other companies, building nations, but they can't build their country because we don't have any man of ideology who say, let's go. And then you are telling me you want to convince me because you want me to hear what you want to say. I'll be afraid. You know, I may not be eloquent as you are. I may not be more orator as you are, but I understand
Today, your
Nigerian politics.
eloquence is vastly engaged me, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. But I'm not going to buy into the pressure that somebody can. What are you running for? As if you say you are not desperate, then wait, let's build it together and then make it clear and we will follow you. I'm not his supporter, but if he demonstrated that for me, I would say, you know what, he's a man of patience, he's a man of understanding. Beauty. Look at this guy, whether you like it or not. What is his name? He come to this program and Adewale. Like him or not, he's building the momentum on the ground. The SDP guys. Go and see where he's going in the north. Among the northerners, apart from the brand name, they not know him more than any other person. I'm not saying he's good or bad, but that's how to build underground base, that organic. That is, and Peter Obi have what it takes. Where there are people that are ready to die for him. So why are you all do say today you wear is like a man? You know the Bible is a guy that says when the Bible describes a land of multiple colors. If you see if a wear will be clothed now, you see SDP. No, you see a PDP, you will see AFGA, you will see LP, you will see you will see ADC,
Oh,
you will
please,
see
please,
ADC.
please, don't go
These are
that
the
lane.
clothes now.
Discuss something else. Don't go
Now,
that.
listen to me. It's a reality I'm talking.
Don't
I'm not
discuss
talking
that,
about what
please.
does
Yeah,
not
yeah,
happen.
I
I'm telling
recognize
you
it
what.
completely.
please.
I'm telling you the reality of Nigerian and Obi. He wear clothes. If you see his clothes now, his garment is PDP,
It's a fair
AFGA,
analogy, sir.
AFGA.
All right, Jonaba,
So,
I have a question for you. I have a
go
question.
ahead, go ahead,
All
man.
right. First and foremost, I'm going to start with this picture. Okay.
Go ahead.
You see, I when I was growing
I
up,
didn't
this.
see the picture. I'm waiting to see the picture.
Oh, really? Can anybody see the picture?
I do not. Do
I
anybody
Yes,
see
I
any?
can.
only him that cannot see it. It is there. Everyone can see it. He
What
can.
picture
See it.
are
You
you
should be able to
showing?
see it.
What
Okay,
picture?
I'll explain the picture
Look
to you.
at it here. It's in front of you.
Well, hold on, Jefferson. When we were growing up, this is the first lesson my dad taught me. A man, his wife, his horse, they were walking along the road. The man was holding a donkey or his horse by the rope and
It's a
walking.
goat.
And then the audience looking at them said, look at this stupid man. They have a horse, and instead of climbing on the horse and riding it, they are rather suffering themselves and walking about and then letting the door. So the man overheard them. Now said, okay, to his wife, climb on the horse. Let me walk with you. So the woman climbed on the horse, and the audience now said, look at this stupid man. He let his wife climb on the horse, and he himself is walking with his leg. The man came down from the horse, told his wife, okay, you let me. I mean, the woman came down and the man climbed on the horse, and then they said, "Look at this stupid man. He left his wife on the ground, and he's the one joined the horse, him alone, you know." So he now came down and said to his wife, "Okay, climb the horse." Two of them climbed the horse. This another crowd said to them, "Look at these stupid people. They want to kill this poor horse, you know." Two of them are climbing on this horse. This horse might even die before they get to where they're going. So they came down and carried the horse on they said, because they said the horse is about to die because of that weight. They carried the horse. The people said, look at this stupid man. Instead of climbing the horse, they are carrying the horse on their shoulders. So Jonaba, this is to you. What do you want Peter Obi to do? Because he has moved like every other politician in Nigeria have moved. There's no politician in Nigeria that have not changed party more than 4 times. There's none. And they are not going to bring angels to work with you. I'm not saying that I'm for Peter Obi or against Peter Obi. I'm just talking as a moderator. I'm trying to
Okay,
balance out.
now,
No,
KJ,
that's not a moderate question.
can I quickly say
That is
something
a
before
totally biased question,
yeah,
Okay.
sir.
can I quickly say something before John Abba?
Totally.
No, let's finish with Jonaba, then we'll come to you. Unless Jonaba says you answer.
go ahead. Let the person answer the
All
question.
right,
Yeah,
go.
the point I just see what John Abba is describing is the reality of where we find ourselves in Nigeria politics. But
Absolutely.
if we who really want the betterment of this country, who want to support Peter Obi, let's take any form of criticism and let's forge ahead in what way can Obi win the election, or like you said earlier, the 10 million vote that is out there undecided, which I don't believe is even more than that. You know, how can we focus on all those things? Because you cannot just be arguing with people because they said is moving from one party to another, which is reality of life in Nigeria politics. Like you said, that's what I just want to add.
Thank you so much. You see,
Okay,
what?
Janaba,
Yeah,
people are asking where is your picture now? We don't want to be seeing these chairs you're putting here for us. So if you want
you
to,
can't see me.
not
I
you,
can see you.
not you, Janaba, the guy who spoke before you, and
Okay.
Lays.
He's using a different background. I think the background he uses is what come up with it. It's just like I cannot see the other one, but I can see it from my phone, but I couldn't see it in
They
time.
live in the same house now.
You see, this is what you show on this. You see,
Yes.
you do what you don't know what
Yeah,
you show
that's
now.
it. That's it.
So now you see live. Uh, we if you really want to speak to Nigerian thing and with open mind, like I believe I'm open-minded person. One of my people I disagree with, and if it makes sense, is Jago. Jago always a deep guy, but sometimes his school of thought is different from mine. But he's a big boy. When me mean big boy, that you have a big heart. If you are wrong, you say I'm wrong. If I'm right, you say I'm wrong. There's nothing you can do to me. You are not feeding me. If you are feeding me, stop feeding me. I can still be myself. The issue is that the reality is Peter wear a garment of many party on this. So anybody is saying that, oh, John Abba is saying it, then you are just I don't know what to. I don't want to use a harsh word for you because sometimes I think I took my medication today, so I don't want to use a harsh word. But this is it. We have PDP government, we have AFGA, we have LP, we have ADC, now we have NDC, and it can even end up in APC if we are not careful. So, and then they see that politicians change. If you are changing, don't say I'm not desperate because your action is telling you are desperate. So don't use that word, I'm not desperate. You can even be honest. I'm desperate to save this country. I'm looking for what it takes. You're telling me I'm not desperate? What is desperate is understatement. So, but having said that, and like I said, the guy that came today is a brilliant guy. You understand the Nigeria issues, and uh, he refused to call on certain things what it is understandable. There are things you be careful of. KJ, I will send you a personal picture on your phone. There are certain things you don't put out there. It's not because you're afraid of anything. It's just because you have to respect people and respect their life and whatever the decision they make. And if he said you want to be a president, I don't have a key to Asu Rock. It's welcome, it's a fight. But I think
Janaba, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you. Leave it there.
all
Because
right.
before you finish, you probably all of us will falling off our chair. Just
All
leave
right,
it
no,
there.
no, so
You know.
thank you. The guy is a brilliant guy. Let's follow up with that guy. I understand some area he come from, and I really understand with him. And yeah, Bello is he's gonna become the Senate from
Yes.
Kogi.
Yes.
Okay, this is the person that you see. If I were a president, I would shut down. I was looking for Tinubu people to shut down EFCC. But they didn't do that. It made me feel like, oh, this guy, they really missed the point. I wanted them to shut it down. EFCC are nothing than a form by the Western idea during Obasanjo to be robbing Nigerian rich people and using political game on themselves, and they form it. If I came to, if you want to shut it down, this guy that they arrested on corruption, anybody, they'll go settle and they go home. And the next thing you know, they run for office. They're not serious. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I agree with you on that. Unfortunately, we will not discuss that. I agree with you. I was so shocked. And I was so shocked. Every charge is against him have been dropped. In fact, they can't even find they said they can't even find the files that was used. They have not been able. What a nation! What a nation! The other guy wrote 3 point something trillion naira away, just like that. Nobody who look, anyway, let's not digress so I don't get emotional. Because when you see the schools, people's children sitting on the floor, not even a cemented floor, sand, sand, this German, whatever they call it, sand, just like that, to learn with no blackboard. The teacher writes on the wall with no blackboard. In the same Nigeria, where somebody is writing off as amount almost 4 trillion naira away without question. Well, God will help us. May God not punish all Nigerians. My hands are clean. I never work in government. So when that punishment comes, those of them who have been working in government and doing that, let it go to them. Because it's unthinkable. It's unthinkable. It's unthinkable. That's the truth. Like, jokes apart, But then that's why we find ourselves. And Okpablo with the 2.5 million votes, even though Edo people are not more than that, are not up to that. But yes, you have been hearing and you have been going off and coming in. I'd like to welcome Kene. Kene is like, you heard me. I wanted to write on the comment. Please, Kene, come into the discussion.
Thank
and
you.
Now it's good to
you.
see after many more weeks.
Yeah, a lot of things are really going wrong on this platform. So I was not from the
not going wrong with you because you are. I can see you are.
I just wanted to have rest of mind because when you come on this, I noticed that whenever I frequent this platform, I begin to lose weight. I begin to lose weight after hearing some things. I'll be so angry, though my blood pressure doesn't go up, but I just get really, really angry with some people, and thereby I might not be able to eat that day. So I decided to, look after myself. As you can see, I'm adding some weight.
Yes,
but this is it, right? You see, I was on a comment section. I was hearing some things that are not making sense. I said, okay, let me come up and add my little sense, right? So I overheard somebody asking or saying that he would have loved APC boys to shut down EFCC. And that got me thinking, if this person really understands Nigerian politics or understand what EFCC is meant for, he wouldn't have been saying that or even have that kind of thoughts. How can you expect the owner of EFCC to shut down EFCC when EFCC is actually working for him, right? We've had a lot of criminals like Yaya Bello and the rest. Today, they've picked up form to contest for office, right? That should show you that. And even one Edo man, what's his name? Ovie brother, the former governor of Edo State, that short ugly man, stated that once you join EFCC, once you join APC, your sins will be forgiven. And they are doing it. Oshobaba. And they are showing us that they are doing what they said. And we can't do anything about it. I've also overheard the same person saying that he has open mind and he always stand for the truth. No, if you have open mind and you stand for the truth, you should have known that Buhari contested twice, ruled twice. That is 8 years, right? And it is time for the South. The gentleman agreement. It is not in the constitution, but it is an agreement that has been. Now, a Southerner just is about to complete his 4 years, and I think it's still it's still left for the Southerners to pick up somebody or even retain the Jagaban that is there. But Atiku has refused to have shame. Atiku has refused to allow Nigeria to move forward. Atiku is a phantom candidate, a very dummy president that always stand in gap, or that always stand as a barrier to making sure that Nigeria does not move forward. How could you, since 1999, you completed, you have 8 years after 1999, you've been running. And all this while that you've been running, all you do is to make sure that the opposition side is weakened so as to leave the incumbent in the seat. All the time, the only thing that you do is to find the strongest opposition. You delve in there, try to make sure that you subdue everybody so as to give the incumbent power to stay there. And this open-minded, truthful person is not seeing that. All he see is Obi not being honest, Obi jumping from one party to the other. Let's even count how many parties has Atiku been into. Atiku has been jumping from PDP to APC to AC, back to APC, back to PDP, back to ADC. You didn't see that because you are blind. You are not a truthful person. You are not an open-minded person. You are evil, right? I'm not calling anybody's name, right? Now, you didn't see that. You
Would
didn't
that
also
not
see... yeah, you didn't also see...
Whilst you have a great point, is that point not strong enough? I believe, as I'm listening to you, is that point not strong enough to cancel Atiku as a candidate? Because the word phantom candidate, I like that term. That term describes him completely.
Exactly.
And in that, would you not just cancel him? Because the way that it was cancelled for the one you're fighting against, is another cancellation. It's not, I don't think it needs personality, it's just another cancellation. And that's what tells you that if we continue down this line, we get to go right back in power, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. And what Atiku has succeeded in doing today, if he vehemently refused to step aside and retain ADC, what he has simply succeeded doing is giving back the power to APC. That is very simple. And these honest-minded, open-minded people are not seeing that because of their hatred against this person. I don't know if it is because of that person's tribal affiliation, or maybe, I don't know, the kind of hatred that you could, as a human being, have, and you refuse to tell yourself the truth.
But again, are you saying there is not a case? Are you saying that there is not a case that can be made before Obi, that somebody who has a mind and is thinking, looking, that there is not a case to be put before Obi as what have you been doing for the last 4 years?
Okay, now the case is this. The case is this. Yeah, hold on. I will come to Obi. The case is this, right? Obi was in PDP, and the money bags were trying to use money to buy the candidacy, right? Obi could not offer such money because he is not one politician that could buy that position with money.
Understood.
He stepped aside. Hold on. He stepped aside and he joined Labour Party. Now he joined Labour Party, and you and I, if we want to tell ourselves the truth, you and I knew, you can call it assumption, right, that Obi won that election.
Yes.
What happened? The election was rigged. Now, still, Obi still remained with Labour Party. But what happened after the election?
If I can stop you, in the fact that he was rigged, and we both agree that he won that election. Me and you agree on that.
Yes.
Now, at the time, how do you not really begin a full-scale fight against?
Thank you. But this is Nigeria for you. There is somebody again made mention of Adewale, Prince Adewale, the guy that always come here, that is in SDP, that is that the same person is praising, that is doing wonders in the north. Adewale come here on this platform and told us that he is against any form of protest. He's even against taking APC and INEC to court. Somebody like Showore refused to join the forces to take INEC to court, or to take APC to court. These people refuse. What is it called? It was only this Atiku and Peter Obi that stood and tried to fight the case. What happened at the end of the day? The judges have been, they all been bought. When we see goats being printed in ballot papers, goats being ballot numbers being erased and falsified, but still the court turned blind eye to it, and they tell us the legal technicalities. At the end of the day, what happened? Since that very day, Obi has been the prey. They've been after his stance. Wherever Obi goes, they will go there to make sure that he did not emerge the candidate. Wherever Obi goes to, they will follow him bumper to bumper, right? And you did not see that. The only thing that you want Obi to do is to stay in one useless party. At the end of the day, they will do him PDP. They will do him PDP. He will lose the ticket completely. That is what you want him to do because you think, like you said, that he's dumb, he's not smart enough. No, you cannot say that Obi is not smart. Somebody that is bigger than you from A to Z in all ramifications of life, he's bigger than you, and you say that he's not smart. You want to ridicule him because he's vying for presidency.
Can I hold on? Can I hold on? Hold on, John Abba, hold on. You
is not smart.
Hold on.
Somebody that can feed your entire generation.
Hold on now.
Can I
hold on? Now, John Abba has the right to.
I'm better than you, John Abba.
Guys, hold on.
I'm better than you in everything.
Hold on, guys.
Don't even come to me.
No, this is not good. Can I hold on, please? Hold on, please. You are talking. He kept quiet. I just want us to understand that we are not the ones going to change Nigeria. Let's be civil. Whatever we say, it is still going to be our.
Really. To change Nigeria. Don't say that.
So hold on. I don't want us to go rowdy. Please. We have been having a nice conversation, very intellectual, very understanding, and we're laughing all about it. Let's continue on that spirit, please. This is Sunday. I have gone
Thank you. I'm going to go because I have something to do.
Okay.
I just want to say one or two things. And are you listen to me? Please, I'm not talking to you. Please respect yourself.
I don't do that. Now let him
Your
talk.
last name is not to be. I'm not fighting for any politician. I've never fight for any politician. Please, you have the right when exam is set for 75% pass mark. And if you are a mediocre and you accept in your own mark word that 60% will give you a pass mark, it's either you are delusional, you believe to join the real mark and pass the exam. Whatever you say is not going to make any difference. You can read overnight and you can read until Jesus.
At this point, if you got to interrupt, I'll have to remove.
These are obedient. They are the same people who believe in democracy, that somebody should have free expressions, but they will not allow you to express yourself without interrupting and be abusive in their word. And my stand never changed over the years because we are not self-sighted. The bad news for you is that coming 2027, whoever you are thinking is your candidate you love so much will win the election, forget about it. Period.
We don't need your type in a sane society. We don't need your type in a society that wants to move forward. You are wicked and evil. You are not a truthful person. You are not a truthful person.
Keep quiet and listen to me.
Okay, please.
Yeah, I'm going to my brother. You see, this is the problem. Democracy is to let people be who they are. And people vote for who they want to vote for. And the passion, Obi don't know you, you don't know Obi. I'm not fighting Obi. I have an expression of my own self. I hope Nigerians home and abroad learn that we can disagree to agree on issues. Doesn't matter. I do not have to be your candidate. That is life. So this is not how it works. And you have a right to change party even 100 times. You have the right to change it. I can only criticize him. I do not take his right away. I have no power to take it away. So the notion that we continue to be, you are evil, no evil. Nobody, if you are serious in your life, even your father is in their 90. If this is what I'm passionate to run until I die, you can advise him. You cannot even force your dad to say, oh, don't run for president again. You are weary, pull up now. If your dad give you enough reason, the only thing you have to do is to say, okay, I'm not voting for you. But you don't have the right to say, oh, you are blocking me. You are coming up. You anytime. Then you should know that person carries some power or some influence, or you have some things you don't have. Then you respect it. But the notion that somebody should leave their own political career or the pursuits of their own dream because of somebody you like.
An elderly man should not be siding evil.
That is none of your business.
Let him talk.
Please,
you can talk after
brother, please relax. You don't take hatred for somebody, fight for somebody. Obi don't know, you don't know Obi. You are telling me now Obi is more this and that. Obi they feed you, Obi they feed me. Why am I going to come here to come and worry myself? I only express myself. I have faith. That's all. So having said that, my brother, you look good in your suit. KJ, it's like you preside over the usher today. I go to see you whenever I have opportunity. I will be there to always come and share my opinion. I'm not afraid of any millions word of anybody. I am more, you know me, I'm not afraid to get a criticized or call names. That is not. The only thing we're all passionate about is that we all concerned want our country to work. And you and I, whatever we share here, whosoever we voted for, people that follow Tinubu before now can tell you, oh, it's not working. So it's not a miracle. So why are you for 3 years to it? They say it's not working. If it can be the candidate you are saying 3 years along, you also can say it's not working. Why are you creating blood pressure and enmity for yourself? I'm just sorry to hear that you guys will go into all of that, calling them for no reason. You can feed me, Obi. I don't gain a dime from Obi. I don't care about anybody. I live my life. You live your life. The adage in my place say you lie down in the bed, you prepare for yourself. I live the life I created for myself. I don't care about any other person, and whatever they live that make them comfortable, that is their life. Obi have no say in my life. Kenneth have no say in my life. I still love you, Kenneth. Sometimes I wish.
Keep your love. Keep your love. Keep your love. See, keep your love.
Okay.
The thing is,
Can I
with
hold
all,
on?
yeah, we've all had it, right?
Can my brother hold on, please? I want to break this thing. I want to break it. Let's not go that way. Why is Pablo? Please, Pablo, speak.
Yeah. Let me respond a little bit because I will forget some things.
Biko,
I've calmed down. I've calmed down.
Biko, don't respond. Let's just move on. Okay, Pablo, go ahead.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
It's not reach your place. We'll see your eye.
Come, you don't talk pastor.
Also.
Okay, go ahead. But maybe you are the right person to ask this question. So what's the strategy now? What's the winning strategy according to what we discussed this afternoon with Dr. Malcolm? He said there are about 10 million votes that are undecided. What will be the winning those 10 million?
First of all, I disagree with everything that doctor said. I listened to her from the beginning to the last person. So
statistics. He showed the statistics.
That's where I think that's the main reason why I disagree with him. First of all, people like him are what are called a poll merchants. They come every 4 years to start running polls, either because they don't get grants or they look for grants. Where then they 2023 after election, they no run polls. I mean, Nigerians know the 2024 no polls, 2025 no polls. So they are merchants. They are all business people. It's okay. But after in done spread, analyze all in data finish. And I'm disappointed because when people hear data, everybody will begin to say, data now what is data and number now what is number of human beings that we talk about every day. So yeah, they know this special. When somebody hear data, everybody say, okay, that person now data waiting, data are the people. But at the end of all his analysis, he has come to agree that he don't know the total population of Nigeria. So if you don't know the numbers of Nigeria, that means you don't know the numbers of each state. You don't know the numbers of each local government. So which data are you now analyzing? So you just a guess. That's the question I would have to ask him. So you just sit down, gather data, all call people will say, nah, data be analyze them, and that's it. So if the base of your analysis is you don't know them, then on what premise are you not building your
No, but that's a fair question. But did you ask him that question? Because I wasn't there to listen to that, but I'm hearing from you differently on the data issue than other people have spoken. But I didn't hear the data. Now, are you saying that data is of no consequence in what Nigeria is going through? Or are you it could be me learning from you that there are these types that come up at every so often during election, and they pipe us up to go out there and vote. But we do not necessarily say vote a certain way. I don't know. And say I didn't hear all. But I'm really going to question: do you is data of no consequence, and is he estimating on whatever data he's analyzing? Because I do the same. There are no numbers out there, but when I'm looking at Nigeria, I do my own estimations. And that's all I can do. So which is it? Which? Let me understand.
All right. If I ask you what is the total population of where you live right now in Britain, you are pretty much, even if you are going to guess, you are not going to be far from pretty much the actual numbers. So if you are analyzing data based on that, I'll take you more serious. But if you don't know the total population of the data you're analyzing, I will just listen to you, but I won't take you serious. Just as you said, you just look at Nigeria and analyze the number that appear to you. So the man is doing the same thing. So if I come here and say I disagree with you based on his own data that he's presenting, I think I have a fair shot to actually win the argument with him, but he wasn't here. But again, he kicked off by establishing the insecurity within the northern space, and he painted a pretty good picture that made it clear that it's a regional insecurity. But it was very, very clear about who is responsible, the Fulanis. Now, as somebody who is a climate change advocate, so I understand why he decided to start with the fact that the climate change were affecting the Fulani graders, who were now flowing in from the western part of the country, with their millions of other parts of the region, with their millions, about 250 million cars, I think he estimated, if I'm not mistaken, the number he put out there, and all that kind of. So basically, he ended up saying that it is that and the scarce resources that is responsible of the killing and the genocide that is going on. Now, and he went ahead to where he threw me off with that is when Dr. Damage asked him about, but Dr. Damage just pretty much reiterate what the people from Benue were saying about their predicament, that what they are experiencing is genocide. Doctor did not disagree. He agreed, he said yes. But immediately he pointed finger to Katsina. That the same Fulani are also killing Fulanis in Katsina. And I was like, wait a minute. So does that mean the reality of these people, the story of these people had to be told from the other part of across the country lens? Let's say somebody come here and rob all of us. We are in the same physical place and we were robbed. Jagu, they robbed his gold. He had gold on him and they took his gold. But every other person, they took their money. Then we are all complaining, our money, then thief. Then Jagu say, oh, no, na gold. Then one say, shut up, na money, they can't thief. That's how I saw his analysis of that. Even when Chris came on and asked him about two things can be read at the same time, he agreed, but he disagreed based on that premise. I'm like, what are you talking about? If you agree that these people say now waiting the apple to their beliefs, now genocide, you agree. You say yes. But because they keep people from the other side and they kill themselves, then it should not be seen as a genocide level. So the whole thing don't just make sense to me when he was struggling with those two analogy. Then he came with data on Obi. Nobody asked him, oh, this is your data, where are the variables? Because he ended up saying that it's obvious to him that an article now set up ADC. Did you factor that into your polls? Because Atedo Peter side polls, when he analyzed on Arise 3 days, how many days ago, contradicts within the man they talk. Atedo Peter side was shocked
to see the level or the disparity between when Obi joined ADC, everybody join, when they come, everybody come, they register. Like about 75% of the people that register are coming from the northwest and northeast. So it was crying, it was literally concerned that the people from the south are not registering. But this man come when they talk, say, in your own data show 70% increase. I'll be waiting to go. Like, so people were not paying attention to the details that he's putting out there because they were saying they don't hear the word data and number. Everybody kind of, oh, G3. Data and number represent the amount of people that they analyze there. So there are so many ways that he put this. Even when KJ come on set, KJ said was starstruck. KJ was starstruck. Even your own data, you could not present your own data.
No, but I think over here, I think you are not, you're not analyzing our discussion very well. We asked those questions. We asked him. I personally even asked him about the genocide that was going on, and I gave him numbers. I can still remember what is on my paper here. I first talked about this Dogonahawa massacre, which was 501 persons. That and then there was the massacre in. That was when he said yes, those are true, but there was also massacre.
Immediately,
so saying that we are starstruck based on what? Because we asked him the questions. We asked him the questions. Okay, everybody had a genuine question. Asked a genuine question. Of course. Hold on. You see,
forget the starstruck like that. Let's forget the starstruck way. Forget the joke I was trying to do.
All right. Because if you ever presented a paper in college board, when you present a paper, they will first praise you now.
You just made my point.
Okay.
KJ. Right?
Okay.
That when you presented those numbers to him, the 500 people they killed and so on, he agreed with your submission. But immediately he said, you have to focus on that too now. Am I right?
I say, order the army to kill people.
Let me add to the conversation before I leave, please. Just a few minutes. Yeah. So there's been a series of killings in Benue State, even of recent, just about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
4 were killed in one community. But we have a brother here who is from Benue State that has never condemned that act. He literally told us here that he doesn't care about anyone, that all he cares is about himself. And I'm not surprised, because it's, when you are selfish, when you don't care about the pains and agony of your own people, that all you care is about your own interest, tells me the kind of person you are. What actually triggered me was when this same person that doesn't want to be criticized or to be insulted, let me use that word, when he was busy insulting obedience by calling them foolish obedience. That was what triggered me, and I decided to enter here so that I will give it back to him. If you want to campaign for your candidate, Atiku, you can campaign for him. You can criticize Obi, but calling Obi supporters foolish obedience nullifies whatever you are saying before me. And I still have the right to call you a foolish Atiku supporter. Do you understand? And that is why when I came in, I did not hold back, and I wanted to give him without calling his name, so that he would not say I called his name especially. But the guilt or the guilty, he felt I was taking it to him, and that was why he brought himself out. And I was happy he did that. So coming up here to lie to us, telling us that Dele Farotumi has changed his stance on Obi, is another way to know the kind of person that we're having conversation with. If you think he's saying the truth, you should share any video or any writing or write-up where Farotumi has changed his stance on Obi. Now, you also
I'm trying not to speak.
He also.
But I have to ask you this again.
Yeah.
Did you hear me ask him a question where I asked him, because of his bias against Obi, which he has openly admitted on several occasions, I said, because of your bias, if Obi was to perform what you felt was either obvious or at least tangible to show leadership in the time when you were in Labour Party, would you have greater respect for this man? And would you be able to change your support behind him? He said plainly, without any other words, yes. And I think that was a good answer, based on the fact that if Obi behaved as the political giant he should be, and was able to be successful, not even though it was rubbed down and all of the rest of it, what we agree upon, he was able to bring the Labour Party, the first place he jumped to a position of governance that we can all believe in. Governance. That I will do this job on the basis of merit, understanding of where my nation is, and understanding of where it is that we're going. And I'm going to lead everywhere, every step of the way. I'm going to do that for my people. If somebody's coming out with that kind of rhetoric, he said he would believe in that person. So is this a different fight between you and John Abba? Which really, if you're going to present that,
you know why? Yeah, you know why he responded that way. He's not being truthful to himself because he.
I see.
You and I already
so
know what happened.
You can't believe anything he says.
No, I can't believe anything he says.
Okay.
You know,
then we know it's personal now.
Yeah.
What you have to offer us is going to be a personal issue between you and him because you are triggered gentlemen.
Hold on.
Not so now. Just say admit this kind of thing.
Hold on.
There are people who are triggered, who can't stand for their own point of view. You're allowing the world, you're allowing what's spinning around the world to affect your inner being.
Hold on. I was still talking
someone for reasons that I don't give a damn about.
Now, this is it. If I know you to be honest in your dealings, whenever you speak with facts and you are being honest. Sometimes we make mistakes out of ignorance, right? That is understandable. But if I know one that he already has this innate hatred against this person, whenever he talks, he's always against this person. Right from the day A that Obi started running for presidency, he's always against Obi. He has never changed his position. And this is the same person trying to convince you that he would have supported Obi if Obi had stayed in Labour Party and show leadership qualities and all that. He's just trying to deceive himself, not people like me. Do you understand? I already know his stand. Whatever Obi does, he will always come against Obi. Now, before you cut me off, I was trying to go into some people saying that, or the same person saying that all the politicians are the same. They're trying to generalize that even Peter Obi, Atiku, Tinubu, they are all the same, right? This is the nonsense that they come with, right? How are they the same? For one, when Jagaban, Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, he did not save a penny for Lagos State people. Instead, he borrowed a lot of money, leaving Lagos State in debt. Peter Obi, on the other hand, saved a lot of money. Peter Obi has never found wanting in any form of scandal or whatever. Jagaban, Atiku, Tinubu, they have been in scandalous activities. Peter Obi has never found wanting in anyone. So how could you, in your right senses, generalize these people under the same umbrella? Are you okay? Are you sick or something? Now, if Peter Obi had any criminal record, you and I know that EFCC would have come after him. But he's the only politician so far that has no single criminal record on him. But you want to generalize it because you think that we are as foolish as you are. So whatever that comes out of your mouth will believe you. Now, see, let me tell you guys, see, the truth is, these people claim to be patriotic Nigerians. But whenever they speak, you will now question yourself, do this actually meant well for this country? And that is why when people like us decide not to be affiliated with your nonsense, rather calling for separation of that country, because we know with the people, this kind of thing, Nigeria will never move forward. You don't care about any other person. But you come here trying to convince me that Peter Obi is not a good candidate, that Atiku is a good candidate. Really? You don't care about anybody. You don't care about me. You don't even care about your people in Benue State. But you want to convince me that Atiku will do
Let me
better.
try and offer a solution.
No, I do care about people. I do care when I see
I'm
people
not
being
arguing. I'm
killed.
not arguing that.
Let me round up.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that at all.
Let me round up.
Let
Let me round up. Yeah, let me round up. I do care about people. When I see innocent children being killed, when I see pregnant women being killed, when I see innocent people being kidnapped and massacred, it makes my heart bleed. I care about people, and that is why I meant well for the country. And the only way moving forward is to have a right candidate. And so far, among all these candidates, Peter Obi is the only one that I think that can move that country forward. But if you say that Peter Obi will not be able to do that, if you say that Peter Obi is not competent enough, that it is Atiku, my brother, we'd rather just go our separate way so that everybody will go and settle his headache. Because we can't be recycling the same problem all the time.
You know, I just
let me finish my point though.
I just wanted you guys to just throw that. Let's finish.
Now, another reason, the last reason why I disagree with Dr. now, when in a way is trying to argue with the official record that said that there's a Christian genocide. Now, what do I mean?
Yeah, I was surprised at that too. So
what do I mean? Now, it is on record that United States of America declared Nigeria a country of a particular concern based on what? Religious intolerance. Immediately, that's a theory. But then follow up with action with Tomahawk missile on behalf of what? Christian. Nigerian government come out officially say yes, they provide the intelligence. They work with American government to carry out the strike. That's official. So I'm not saying that here is official on record, right? And that nobody could be able to point that out to doctor. When did they come? They tried to phrase them, say no, not because of resources. Yes, those men, that because another way, he will actually make a compelling argument for why the foreigners they come. They have their own interests, right? Nobody argue with that part. So yes, there's a resource extraction going on, and at the same time, there's genocide going on. Then there's a religious war going on. All these things they happen at the same time. But they try to now phrase him just, oh, it's all just because of resources. Something is fishy. That's what I was just waiting. Nobody could be able to point that out. So do I not be saying, Frederick Obi is being a conspiracy theorist. He just make this up. No, these are official documents that Nigeria, for our first time in history, bomb enter our country on behalf of all Christians. But you know, so that's why I was kind of when I would listen to the thing, where I did, I know feel come out and you know.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Ovie. Now that you have come,
it's my turn to speak. It's been my turn.
My turn. No,
it's been my. No, you spoken, and then the next two came in. No, believe me, you spoke.
JJ, there's something I wanted to ask. You know, I've been off for some time.
Hold on.
Talk. I just want to ask a simple question.
I want you to really go in your mind and pay attention.
You know,
who has given their narrative.
I'm just wanted to ask a question
because I've done it once.
Just a second.
I've done it once. The last few people have had their time. I think a good time, and they spelled what they need.
I know. I just wanted to ask a question. And
I leave it with you, KJ.
KJ.
KJ, I leave it with you.
Time, right?
Don't just
so my question is, you know, last time Trump was being crucified.
Are you just going to sit there, KJ?
No, hold on now. They say that Trump,
no, I'm not going to allow that.
Please.
I just wanted to know.
Ask a question.
No, KJ, bro.
No, if we discuss about the criminal activities that all these Democrats have been found in, you know, all these criminal records that have been exposed about these Democrats. Have we discussed about that? Have we also discussed about how Trump has increased the funding in Black historical school colleges? Have we talked about that? You know, I just wanted to know if for once on this platform, you guys have decided to praise Trump for exposing these criminals that call themselves Democrats, and also for praising Trump for doing the right thing for the Black population that some of you here claim that he's against. Please, I just want to know. Who had that conversation?
We'll come back to that when the likes of Tony and the rest are here.
Okay.
But Jagun, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, everybody. Good night. Yeah, thank you.
Good night.
Good to see you again.
Patience is really
a virtue.
Man, it's needed on a channel like this. It's needed.
Yeah, because you see, one of the things that the Holy Spirit gives.
I've begun speaking now. You didn't my last man up. I need to get. You've already called my name. I'm now speaking.
Go ahead, Jagun. Go ahead.
Sure. Now, as I began, patience, and I've actually learned patience with this channel. But me, I don't get patience. I'm like, I don't have it. I only get it from humanistic. Yeah, I love that. 15, 20 years ago, to be frank. And what it is that it doesn't matter whether I've lost my patience or not. Who gives a damn? It's needed. It's needed. Full stop. Exclamation mark. So the way we manage and the way we manage things, even down to conversations, which are without full of emotion, full of intellectual battle, people are really going into deep conversation, or indeed they are personal and filled with personal issues. That we are human beings, I suppose. So it's not to say I don't understand it, but it does get in the way. It gets in the way. It gets in the way. That's all I can say. So with all that said, we have a problem of solutions. We have a choice of solutions. That's where we are. With all the talk that we do, with all the analyzation that we do, with all the looking back at history, with all the looking at the stars, all those things that we reiterate here is not going to give us as the people a choice as to which way forward. What is really, really desperately needed for us as Nigerians and as Nigeria to take its earnest position at the top table of this planet. Wherever we position it. Because if you have a real top table, it's you positioning it there, and people will come to where you are. And for that is the beginning of your top table. But unfortunately, because we keep looking at the mud that we're in, that we can't see the clearing. That's the only reason I took anything from that man. I have to say, there's many times when I just disagree with Ovie because I don't always understand what he's saying, to be frank. I believe he consumes a lot of information, and the way it comes out, it's not to my understanding or appreciation. It's not a personal thing. I don't understand you, bro. So the little that I know of that man, and I don't know anything, to be frank. But I've looked at him, and I've recognized the guy from a good 15 years ago. As I said, there is light at the end of the tunnel, because what we come to discuss here is the darkness that we're in all the time. We're coming here to discuss the bland filth that we live in. We're not even complaining about it. We're actually explaining why it's like that. Not understanding that we're living in a shocking society, a shocking environment, a stinking, disgusting place. That's where we live. We can look at all the Lekki Ati, Ikoyi Ati, Victoria Island of this world, but we've all had that in our families. But we've had the other side as well. That's the funny matter. It's not that any one of us is completely clear of the mud that we are in. We're all in it. So I put it to you all that we are at a serious crossroad. The crossroad that we've just left in 2023 up until today is as though we're still getting over it. That's what we're doing. We have no practical energy for any solution at all. On this channel, I've been looking and looking and looking, and nobody of the rhetoric that they all have, of the learning that they, of the exposure that they have. Bring it to the table now. Nobody. Next week, we are going to talk about what happened throughout this week, which is the same shit that we're talking about because it's shit that is happening. Is that what we're going to really do as Nigerians in the diaspora? With our hands tied, with the way we live in the diaspora? If we're so happy-go-lucky, and we think money will come at any time because we're in the diaspora, well, you continue thinking like that. It is going to be so sudden when the shit just shuts down. So sudden. And where you going to be then? You're out here in the West. We see how technology is progressing. Technology is going through the roof. And soon it's going to shut us down. Not as ordinary people that have the right to do this and the right to do that. You're not going to have any rights. The West is going to shut down first. The West is going to get the real shock first. Why? Because all of the apparatus is already set up in your city, in your town. Let me be frank. Where are we going to run? By the time they shut down the West, to shut down Africa is going to be a piece of shit for these people. They shut it down, man, with agreement from our present leaders. They shut that shit down. We have one chance left. I'm telling everybody. One. And we can't trust any politician set right now to do the job that we need done in 5 years. We need the job of rescuing ourselves in the next 5 to 10 years. And
Okay.
if we haven't got a clearing to that position, we're doomed. Let me leave it there.
You have no suggestion on how we can do that, Jagun? Because you say talking over our heads. What's the solution? How do we go about
As I said, I've said it on this channel 3 or 4 times anytime I'm on here. And I'm going to say it again. 2027, to go to the polls shows our gullible idiocy, our follow fashion, all the songs, all the rhetoric that have been spoken to tell us of this day from the Niger context, if we've been listening well to those well-meaning Nigerians amongst us. Just go and listen to Fella's, any one of Fella's album. What he is saying then, almost 40 years ago now, Abi, maybe 30. It is what we experience every other day. John Abbott said something. He said, Nigerians are suffering at home and abroad. And I believe that is something to put on a t-shirt. Put that shit on a t-shirt so that it reminds us on the street as we are walking by. Nigerians are suffering at home and abroad. That's what he said. And that stuck in my head. John Abbott is another one. Me, I don't understand the bread. He's got his ways and he's got his other ways. But me, I didn't talk. I just didn't leave him making this song. Because me, I don't understand him. I told him today you were eloquent in what you had to say. Because we have to enter into reality in order to know where it is that the land really lies. In order to stand up, there's only 4 of us. Man go talk my piece, because it seems like the thing where I have to say again, there must be misunderstanding.
Thank you so much, Jagun. Jefferson, your final thoughts on this and closing.
Final care. We just stay here to the middle of the night.
Father will go for that.
All these years, all of us, we have all complained about the country. Everybody. So, and we still complain about the country. At the end of the day, we're looking for a way forward, right? I want to post a link here and show you guys something, and I want you guys to actually look at it for yourselves. As of last week, or I don't know I don't know much about the operations. This is a what do you call it? This is a private military company that like they do drones and all these solutions
in Abuja.
Yes. So basically, I think it's two young Nigerian guys, but they are able to do something to at least assist in fighting insecurity. I mean, that's just one example. We have innocent. We have so many other people. Irrespective of the mess in the Nigerian context, at least people are still making efforts to put something on ground. So I very much love most of all these solution-oriented situations. I mean, this administration ought to know to do things differently. I mean, this is the era of AI, the era of technology exploits, there's data center and all of that stuff, right? What stops them from improving the electoral process? It's definitely not rocket science. So I believe the government, but of course we all know because they have a motive. That's why they don't want things to work properly. So we're going to leave it out for them. I'm going to circle back to what, not as if unfortunately it is what it is, but I'm going to circle back on some of the comments that my guy made before you booted me and Kenny out of the what they call it panel. You see, I don't agree with that assertion. People have their own views. They can support whoever they want to support. Everybody will like a candidate and whatever. But enough for you to just sit down and just start questioning people's political movement. And then you ought to be you're an elderly person. You ought to know better. And it's not as if you are not seeing what's going on in the country. How that is not, for instance, Obi moving from one party to another party is not by accident. It's not because he wants to just move parties. So many things caused it, which everybody's eyes could see. And some people were blind to it. You see, and that's what made all those moves. And as it is, everybody has the right to do what they want to do in the political sphere. Besides, in the Nigeria of today, thanks to our National Assembly and INEC, they have agreed that you can present every falsified documents for election in terms of you can falsify everything. That's why I posted. That was the reason why I posted that thing today. I posted it to let you know how our stupidity is going global. Do you understand? Going global in the sense that anybody can falsify anything and it passes simply because they want to create a loophole to allow the electoral process to go in accordance to what the ruling party wants, and that is where we are right now. You see, so it's just unfortunate. People will definitely make their choices. People will do whatever they want to do. At the end of the day, the reason why people are making their political choices is for the next trajectory. I can tell you for a fact that it is not easy out there. If you know how much people are buying diesel right now and buying fuel, it doesn't tell good of us as a country. People will say, "Oh, are you not seeing inflation happen in other parts of the world?" But that's not an excuse. We have an economy. We ought to do things that reflects the reality of our nation. But as usual, I always like to feel that it's not necessary to talk about these things.
It's very necessary.
These are the same things that's going to fight us in the future. I can tell you that for free.
It is very necessary. You know, just if I could just add to what you're saying, just the fact that the Straits of Hormuz is right now blocked, yet the Nigerian government and global infrastructure is pressuring the full appreciation of what Dangote's refinery can do for Nigeria. How can you stumble your own country and tell me that you are making any sense of your politics? That whole thing should be going on swimmingly. Swimmingly.
Exactly.
Your whole door open. It's yours. The whole global oil market, with the way Venezuela is and the type of oil they have, with what's going on with war, with what's going on in the Straits of Hormuz, the door is wide open for Nigeria. What are you talking about? What's
If
happening?
the Iran war,
You're
let
now
me
talking all this
say
crazy politics
the
that
Iran war has
damn
happened
about
before.
from week to week. Meanwhile, every single day we are losing money. Every
Exactly.
single day. What kind of nation? Rubbish.
No, wait now. If the war that happened in Iran, if it
Yeah.
had happened before they got that's Maduro guy. If the Iran war happened before they got Maduro, I can tell you that the fuel price will not be as expensive in Venezuela as it is in Nigeria.
Of course.
Because they will do what will work for their own nation, knowing that that country has the highest oil and gas reserve.
The thing is, my brother, if I may just add again, the importance we sometimes don't fully appreciate, we just let it go by. The importance of Nigerian oil is that a good 95% of it is light crude, sweet light crude. We have the most variations of it, and it is the best quality crude in the world. Without Nigerian oil in every global refinery, the sludge that they're calling oil coming out of America and the Americas as a whole, their oil is largely heavy. So when they are refining, they need light crude to enter their refinery in order to produce the crude. Libya, under Gaddafi, they have sweet light crude. They have sweet light crude, and they know what they're bringing out.
Okay, but the question.
But understand it. They don't sell it at a discount, and it's not bought at a discount. It's not bought at every oil that comes out of Nigeria since 1967 has been coming out of Nigeria at the biggest discount you can ever think of. That's what you should understand. Which means that who really owns the oil? Who really owns it? Yes.
You guys, we will discuss that another day. Okay, right. Thank you. Probably your final thoughts on these issues.
Mauna, we just I advise people to go back and listen to 2022, this time 2022. Because it's a repetition of everything, right? In fact, now men and then kill Deborah, so now the police killing the happen. But the point I just like continuing from the point I was making yesterday, now all these opposition are excuses that they give. And the fact that people are falling for their excuses, now I don't understand. All of us witness Marco Donald Trump and MAGA, what they passed through in the heart of Democrats the last 4 years. In fact, most of us don't know some states have the right to take out candidates from the ballot box until Donald Trump they contest. They wanted to stop him in Colorado, stop him in everywhere. What did they not throw against the man in terms of trying to stop him from contesting? All this thing with them opposition, they talk about Nigeria and a child's play. A power game.
But I will challenge you on that, Ovie.
Okay.
The difference there is that in America, the people, no matter irrespective of your position, they do not disobey the law of the courts. But in Nigeria, even the law given by Supreme Court is disobeyed right in the court premises.
How many of them? Wait. How many of them? Hold on first. How many of them don't collect bullets?
Like, what do you mean collect bullets?
Trump did.
No, but it was the lockups. The lockups say you shouldn't.
Hold on. Well, my point here is when opposition they complain for Nigeria, as if the game where they play they are excluded. Now so it be for everywhere. Go on Hungary, most of the opposition they are in prison. Italy, the same thing. Go, we will not pay attention to all the elections that happened throughout last year. Now me and you, we did where they shoot Trump twice. What do you think is about? To stop him. The point here is that it never stopped. But most importantly, the MAGA movement, you see that they complain? You there on ground. Did you see their complaint?
They were focused. They were going from door to door because they know say if they don't win, it will be double. Because now double suffer will come to Nigeria when Tinubu win again. That's where the opposition. Nobody say they don't know. Now turn by turn. That's why I know they blame them. Now people they follow don't know. Now turn by turn. Don't just die. Particular no die and go run for 31. They go hand over to run. Nothing will happen. So when all everybody they complain, they don't want to make a complaint. They're like, shut the fuck up. No be competition. If I'm in your position, I will allow you. If I can go away with it, I will do it. Now this is
Bro,
no.
you know the way you're seeing it, oh. You know the way you're seeing it, oh. You know the way you're seeing it. Nigerian politics is not the same with American politics. There are two different parallels.
What's the difference?
You're asking me what the difference is.
Yeah.
Are we new in the game?
I haven't. Now you say they're different. Now I don't know. So tell me, what is the difference? I just tell you say Trump. I just tell you say hold on.
Even in terms of
opposition. Why you they talk? I know you're not going to introduce.
No, I don't understand. Why are you talking like this? You ought to know better now. You know the country we're coming from. Why are all of us in abroad? If everything's so damn good, why are all of us in abroad?
Can you just
the first question you should ask yourself?
Can you just allow me speak? I allow you spoke for God's sake.
Jefferson, allow him to make his point, please. Allow him to make his point, please. Okay, round up because
I hear you.
No, now relax. Now you don't really hear. Yeah.
Now hear me and you. They went Donald Trump. They won't blow in head in order to stop him. He's not the first person. A normal thing. How many people they don't shoot at in Nigeria? Hey, they complain. If you want to follow that, they follow them. My brother,
come on,
I did not interrupt you when you were speaking. For God's sake, you want to talk my own John. Sure.
Somebody saying that my goosey soup this is already.
You go stop me from saying what I want to say. No be opposition politics. Now power game. They'll carry power give you because they no. Power they choose. You don't know how that place be. When you complain, they go complain that year. If they stop them from contesting, nothing will happen. That's what you guys don't understand.
Nothing will happen, no, my brother. I did that with you.
Nothing will happen. If they blow any of their head upset, nothing will happen. Now they talk as if saying power now. We are talking about $1 billion investment now. They're talking about. It is a noise, now shout. Now they don't carry
Jefferson, it seems to me where you may be coming from in not recognizing the absolute similarity between Nigerian politics in particular and US politics in particular. I don't know what you're imagining. Wait, because I called your name didn't mean I won't make my point.
Gentlemen,
my point is that I tell you what it is, Jefferson. Nigerian madness is actually ahead of American madness. Soon you will see American, the type of madness when they go on for Niger, enter America. Blatant as you like. Because that's the only difference. The difference is that in Nigeria, this shit is blatant, in your face. We don't give a fuck about you guys, but we're going to compete amongst ourselves. You're going to accept whoever comes out as the leader of this country. So fuck you with your complaints and bullshit. Right. That's what's going on in Nigeria now.
Bye to ADC.
It's like America.
Bye to ADC. OK Ticket is moving to a new party. That means
why you come speak
no
me off now? Why you come rude?
We try to beg the former vice president, Atiku and David Mark led ESCO to zone presidential to south. That's the best way to go because it's Southern time. It's not, you cannot put Atiku when he's supposed to be Satana. Atiku is not a Satana. So if you cannot zone it, there is no point we are in that party. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce the rise and the death of ADC party. Now we are carrying our glory, our power to a new party. OK Ticket is okay for me. I don't know for you. Obi Pankpaso is okay for me. I don't know for you.
Obi is the only life in ADC.
There are other people there. Atiku is there.
Excuse me.
Amechi is there.
I never said they are not human beings there. I'm saying they are largely spent forces. Obi is, let Obi don't go to ADC. Let Obi go to another party. Let's say Obi is in Accord. Accord will become.
Why is that?
Excuse me, I'm saying it to be. Obi is the only traction. Obi is the only meaning. Obi is the only factor. Obi is the only person in ADC that matters. And if Obi had not gone to ADC and has gone, when Obi went to Labour that was never known became one election to House of Rep. I'm not saying Obi will win this election. I'm not saying Obi will not win this election. But I'm telling you, even if they don't feed Obi, if ADC fails to feed Obi, their case will be worse than they are coming together.
Okay, that's a lesson for everybody, whether you like it or not. That's the word out there. I want to thank each and every one of you, gentlemen.
You want to apologize?
Sorry, KJ.
You want to apologize?
Sorry, KJ. Sorry. Don't forget
the place like that.
No. You guys are not listening. And I'm
KJ,
not
KJ. Don't forget that even the Trump and MAGA, they were also complaining that they were rigged out of their election.
Yes.
They complain.
Okay, so you guys
not
forget,
two-way opposition. They talk that way, new.
Equality, fairness, and justice. Make I go chop my pepper soup and egusi soup when they give me. So, on this faithful note, I really want to say we have come to the end of this show. We always appreciate Jagun when he comes and he allows us to speak with him without having to harass us with rubbish. But all the same, he's a very wonderful guest of ours. We appreciate his contributions. Thank you. The same thing goes to my brother, 2.5 million voters disciple. Ovie is, always bringing different options to whatever we're discussing, which goes very well with us. And everybody enjoys his take, especially the day that he decides to remove his glasses. But today is okay. It still makes sense. And we thank you so much, Ovie. And then, of course, Jefferson will thank you and every one of you. Jefferson was there from the beginning till this time. I really appreciate the time you have spent. And everybody who have come and gone, all the way to Masca, we thank you so much for being here. Everybody, each of you, Oriako, Tokwe, and every single one person who has contributed, who has given us something to go and this is my egusi soup. I must have to eat it today because with Oriako, this egusi soup have to be complete and we will enjoy it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, let me go back to all those who have been okay. Thank you so much. In fact, this guy, I thank you. You were all true. You are so gracious to bless us today. Thank you so much. Thank you because you followed all that you said. Although I didn't get the video that you wanted me to play, but I hope that the one I played made sense. If not, we will still meet on Saturday, and then we will do it again. Thank you. I don't know why. I have not seen him for a while, so let's talk. If you are free. Thank you so much, every single one of you. Thank you for taking out your time to be with us. You could have been with your family members. You could have been with your children. You could have been out in the pub drinking. You could have been in the church praying. You could have been in your house sleeping. But you chose to spend this precious time of yours with us. We will not take it for granted. It doesn't matter whether we agree with you or we do not agree with you. We always agree to disagree. That's how the world goes. As long as we're not fighting, we will always agree to disagree. And that's what makes it good. God wasn't just doing anything when he decided to make us differently. We have different faces, and that's the same way that we think differently. We can never all think the same thing. If not, the world would have been a very boring place. And that's why when you want to even marry, they say you should choose, plus and negative, because plus and plus do not really work that well. But in this show, we always have people from the other side, a little to the left, a little to the right, and that brings the balance that we're all looking for. I wish that balance can be brought to our nation, Nigeria. I wish we can come to a time when we will say to ourselves, we have come to the place where we can sit down on the round table and discuss. And like I say here, I am Igbo, but I do not want Igbos to dominate Nigeria. And I don't want Hausas to dominate Nigeria. I don't want Fulanis to dominate Nigeria. I don't want Yorubas to dominate Nigeria. I don't want Efik, Ibibio to dominate Nigeria. I want everybody to have equal share, whether they are 5 in number as a tribe or 1 million. Let everybody be given space to be able to realize their life goal. And that's what this channel stands for. Just in case some of you come to think we are here to criticize government. No, we're saying give every single person in Nigeria the opportunity to do what? To be able to have a meaningful life. Right now, Nigerians are not having meaningful life. And just like one of our panelists said, Nigerians are being prosecuted, tried, both at home and abroad. We have never had it in our lifetime until now that many countries around are saying Nigerians go back home. Yet, if you look at those countries that are making these calls, Nigeria is more endowed than they. Yet, if you look at the human resources that Nigeria parades around the world, there's nearly no part of human endeavor that don't have experts from Nigeria practicing in those areas. How be it that we can't get simple leadership together? How be it as those greedy ones amongst us that occupy the throne of Nigeria and refuse to see the plight of the ordinary Nigerian? It's so unfortunate that even in Nigeria, everything has now been monetized. So much so that when you say people are being quiet around certain states, they tell you, but other people are being quiet. They tell you, but it's not only that side. When shall we now learn to put some premium on the lives of Nigerians, whether in Nigeria or around the world? When shall we be able to react when things are done to Nigerians outside of Nigeria? The government take a very decisive stand and make sure that that life or that individual is rescued. That's why everyone loves America. They love America because America stands with you. They love America because America does not play with the life of their citizens. They love America because nobody in America is stealing all the money from the federal government or the state where they're going to use to develop their country and put it in their pockets, and make it for themselves and their family. We're not saying America has become a perfect society, but we're saying that at least they are concerned about their citizens. When shall Nigeria be concerned about her own citizens? When shall an ordinary Nigerian mean something to those who are in a position of authority? Until we're able to answer those questions, we'll continue to go around in circle. Until we're able to teach Nigerians that the government that they are seeing do not own the money that they are spending. And consequently, we cannot be clapping for them while they are the ones enjoying the wealth of the nation, they and their family. It is time for us to take a decisive action. Call for a change. Be the change. Step out in the, and make a change. Do not lay back again. Those 10 million voters who are yet to decide, our position in this channel is to make sure that they decide for the positive change in Nigeria. Bring about that change. Bring about that mass movement of people moving from what is not working to what is working. Because if Nigeria was working, no Nigerian would be outside of Nigeria. When I was growing up in the command secondary school, we were told that we are going to be the future of Africa. Bill Clinton, when I was in the university, came to Nigeria and said to us, we expect Nigeria to lead the next millennium. Since Bill Clinton have come and gone, we have had more than 5 more presidents of America. And yet, that word that he spoke in Women Development Center in Abuja has never come to pass. Rather, we have rolled back the dials. It's time for us to, again, look at ourselves, eyeball to eyeball, physical the fiscal, Ido the Ido, and tell ourselves the truth. Do we really want a nation, or we're here to play games? If we want a nation, they will have to do something, and that has to be positive. Think about the generation years to come. In 20 years, in 30 years, what shall we become? A nation of fools? 200 and something million, maybe 300 million people that are going nowhere? Or people who the world will celebrate and will Nigeria become a destination? That is on that note that I leave you this day. Are we going to be a destination? Are we going to connect to people who people are afraid of, who people do not want to come near? A nation, a place where they say nobody goes there. God forbid. Our desire is that Nigeria will be a place where people desire to go, and where will be a destination in Africa, a rallying point for everyone, black person on earth. And so be it. And that's our prayer from this channel. Until next week, when we'll bring you another very exciting discussion, when we come again to say, let us judge into the war. And my name continues to remain my name. And on behalf of 90 Minutes Africa, we say thank you so much for being with us. And may God bless all of us. Until then, I'm trying to see if our uncle is around to lead us out, but he's not coming. So, here we go. Until then, take care of yourself and God be with you all.
I am adore lele. Ido kwa samaka onyoma odika powder. Ido kwa samuku onyoma odika fomu. Ido kwa samishi onyoma odika pilo. Oh lo 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 lo, aturu bwebule wakamwa iwariwo. Ice. Rosa Olerio, Rosanna Olerio, Rosanna Olerio adikadimba. Adure Oleri, Adure Olerio, Adure, Aturu bwebule wakamwa iwariwo. Adure, Adure lele. Ido kwa samaka onyoma odika powder. Ido kwa samuku onyoma odika fomu. Ido kwa samishi onyoma odika pilo.